It is 6:01. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. The Tennessee Titans travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills on Monday Night Football. The Titans are looking to bounce back from a disappointing 21-20 Week 1 loss to the New York Giants. Meanwhile, the Bills blasted the Rams 31-10 in L.A. in the league's season opener 2 Thursdays ago. Titans safety Amani Hooker told Ramon and Will that players live for primetime games like tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a game you want to play in. This is a game, when you're younger and you grow up and you watching the ball on TV, it's the night games that are the ones that you dream about playing in. And being able to play in those definitely against a great quarterback and a great team, it's a great opportunity, to showcase what we have as a team and to showcase your ability.
Kickoff is set for 6:15 tonight with Mike Keith and Dave McGinnis, courtesy of Titans Radio. Christian Fulton, Dontrell Hilliard, and Jamarco Jones all ruled out for tonight's game. The other Monday Night Football game tonight, Minnesota at Philadelphia at 7:30. AFC South games yesterday, the Jags blanked the Colts 24-0. Broncos defeated the Texans 16-9. Sunday Night Football, Green Bay all over Chicago 27-10. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
It's a Titans game day edition. Monday Night Football tonight between the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills. And on a crazy Sunday in the NFL, at least we can count on the Colts losing to Jacksonville to give us just a little bit of normalcy. Alongside Ramon Foster, Jonathan Schaefer, the best producer in the world.
The best producer in the world.
My name is Will Bowling. Grateful to have you with us for fast hours to begin a Titans game day. Gentlemen, how are we?
Good. Hey, no. Restart this thing over and you tell them what, Will. It's game day.
Act like it.
Act like it, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I thought about that last night. I figured you was going to miss that on the introduction. I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to get him with his own sauce right here.
I was making sure that I had enough energy for the uppercut to the jaw of the Indianapolis Colts football team. So pardon me if I was not as focused as I should have been. It's game day. Act like it. But I'll tell you the people again. It's game day. We'd like for you to act like it, please. At 615-737-1045. We are Ramon and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors here in Nashville.
Yeah.
And crazy NFL Sunday.
A crazy NFL Sunday, man.
I'm kind of grateful we have a Monday game to talk about because we don't have Titans to recap, obviously, off the top today. So we've got a little bit more room to actually talk about these games.
Yeah, we do.
While also previewing Titans and Bills.
Yeah, we've already previewed the Titans. We'll probably lightly hit it again here or there, Will, just to give you a what do you want to call it? A little scout meeting before the game. We might dabble in just a little bit, but you got a big game tonight. I'm seeing a bunch of Titans beat writers and media types who are hitting up all of the Buffalo wing
all the
spots.
wing places. That's right.
In Buffalo, New York, home of the original. And most people will tell you, I think it's Anchor Bar and Duff's. I think it's the two.
Anchor is the one.
Anchor is the one, but they're like, well, no, that's not the good wing place. It's always those people's like, well, you like this hot chicken place? This is the better one. Yeah, it's the exact same thing when it comes down to the wings, man.
There are a lot of those, and then as the more accessible that a lot of those places get to tourists.
Yeah.
Like the worse they become.
Yes, they are. Because they got to start just pumping out stuff, as far as product and everything. Because, as you said, Will, the more people invade your city. Oh, I just saw the first Matt Ryan interception.
See, if people don't know that Ramon Foster watches films of games while he hosts this show.
Yeah. That was by Jenkins. That ain't Janoris, is it? No, that's not Janoris Jenkins. No, it's not him. Yeah, I do, Will, simply because, somebody was tweeting me this past weekend. It was like, it was during the show. It's like, Ramon, it's disrespectful to do. I'm like, dude, I multitask all the time. Like, literally, my life has been multitasking every single day of it almost, man.
That's right.
Whether it's, setting a defensive tackle and watching for the defensive end, Will, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's blocking down or getting up to the second level linebacker. This is what we do, Will. We're morning crew.
That's right.
We're degenerates.
Of course we
It's
are.
wild in the mornings.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Put these kids back on Zoom, man. Traffic is getting out of hand. Continue to say this.
Put these kids back on Zoom.
No, I kid. There's a bunch of parents that are like, no, send their butts to school. So, no, we're good.
615-737-1045 is the number today. And on the show, we've got a loaded lineup of Titans and Bills discussion for you. Dr. Kevin Dyson joins us at 7:20. I will be with him post-game today on Titans Talkback as well. So send wellness checks and tots and pairs for your boys who you're going to hear from as the show goes on today. Amani Hooker will play that conversation that we had with him at 8:20. Mm-hmm. And K-Bowl, New York's finest, Keith Bulluck.
Hey, now.
At 9:20 this morning.
Monday night to you.
That's right.
Syracuse, right?
Yeah.
From New York as well?
Yeah, from yeah, I know it's in New York.
Well, no,
but he's native
I'm
to
saying
New York.
he's from New York, is what I'm saying.
Also, the Carrier Dome is no longer the Carrier Dome. I found out.
Is it really?
Yeah, they're not the Carrier Dome anymore. His old university changed the name of their stadium.
What is it?
I'll have to tell you that in a minute, but I found it out this past weekend.
Okay. Another trademark stadium name.
JMA Wireless Dome.
Yeah, so the Carrier Dome.
Yeah, like Heinz Field.
Yeah, like Heinz Field. Yeah, that's right.
This is what we're refusing
Also,
to call stuff.
I think the more time I spend around you,
Yeah.
I woke up yesterday and checked the NFL slate, checked the board. It was Steelers +3. I was like, I'm going to bet on the Steelers today.
Yeah.
So I blame my interaction with you on a daily basis for the fact that I bet on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Nope, that doesn't count because I was smart enough to stay away from that game.
Oh, but it pushed, so I didn't lose.
I understand.
It worked out. I made some good, solid money yesterday.
But that's like talking about your fantasy football team. No one cares.
I know. Or your March Madness bracket.
Yep.
How many Sweet 16 teams you guys got left today? Oh, sorry. I forgot to ask who cared because I know none of you don't.
I tell you what, my what's the name? My fantasy team was cheeks this weekend.
Was it really?
Yes.
I'm 2-0. I'm in a East Tennessee sports media league.
Okay.
I'm 2-0.
Okay, mine was cheeks this weekend, dude. I'm like, where is Russell Wilson when you need him?
Did you have Mike Evans after he got thrown out?
No, I didn't. By the way, what's up with fights on the field this past weekend, too?
Kind of here for it.
I mean, I'm here. Of course you are. You're not the one getting the fine.
That's right.
But
they can handle it.
Yeah, that'll be all right. You're right. You choose to fight on the field. Guess what? You assume responsibility of that that FedEx package in your locker.
Equivalent of you fining me $10.
I mean, it's like that sometimes. People still hate getting fined, though. Why is my laptop not charging?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's not okay, Chief.
Let's go to the phone line. 615-737-1045. Cornbread is with us this morning. Good morning, Cornbread.
Fellas, I wanted to touch on this fight with the Bucks and the Saints. You know, I'm a diehard Saints fan, and more people should have been ejected from that game, honestly. Along with Lattimore, the Saints should have lost Graves because he got in that scrum too.
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch, the first punch thrown come from number 7, that running back. I can't remember his doggone name. Fournette.
Leonard Fournette, yep.
Fournette threw the first punch, but Brady should have been gone too because he also threw the punch and shoved an official trying to get into that scrum. Touching the official's enough to get you run.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Godfather Goodell hadn't signed off on ejecting Brady, so that's why he wasn't gone. Because I guarantee you, Tannehill touches an official like that, he's gone for 2 games.
Yep.
So that's just I don't understand why they didn't do more than what they did. More people should have been ejected, and yes, some of my Saints should have been ejected, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to eject people and you're going to fine people, you need to keep it straight across the board, and not because somebody is considered the GOAT and he gets a pass.
Yeah.
And what has Fournette done in the NFL? Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he ain't done a whole lot. He's on his last chance. You know, and you're going to talk about, we're not going to throw him. I didn't know he's one of those the first punches.
Yep. Well, he did the same thing here in the joint practice, too.
Appreciate the call.
You remember that? Well, we were there that day when he threw that punch in practice at the end of practice when everybody kind of scrummed. Like, he's had – Leonard Fournette is Leonard Fournette. I heard Ryan Clark speak about him recently. It was like, Leonard Fournette is that guy. He lives that type of life. And I'm just like, okay, well, mess around and get suspended doing stuff like this, man.
That's right.
It sucks. I know it. Again, I'm surprised this type of stuff doesn't happen more often. Of course, some guys just don't simply care about getting fined or suspended. This will be one I think guys will get suspended for. just simply because it's a rivalry. They got to see each other again. And for them to really set a precedent for the next game, they got to kind of do something.
I feel like the only one that actually deserved to be suspended in that was not Lattimore, was Mike Evans.
Was Mike Evans? Mike Evans won.
I had an issue with Marshawn Lattimore being ejected in that game.
Did you really?
I didn't really think what he did was that big of a deal. And then Mike Evans comes off the sideline and just tries to decapitate a dude. And Tom Brady hugging the official, I mean, that was like a middle schooler on a movie date. Like it's like when you're taking a picture with your homecoming date when you're a freshman in high school and you got the hover hand around, taking the picture.
Yeah.
Like he was kind of touching the ref, but like, no.
Yeah.
Really. Like that's just like, hey, buddy, like what can we get a call on like all this, and that? And then I don't know.
He put his arm around the official and was like, you see the stuff I'm going through right now?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what Brady told him.
The quarterbacks do that all the time with the refs. If they're going back to the back judge and to the referee saying, hey, watch this hands of the face up here. Hey, he was hitting me after the play. I feel like there are more of those conversations where you've kind of got your arm around the ref as a quarterback than people think they are.
Have y'all noticed, though, as of late, like Brady's been very chesty with a bunch of guys, so too. He did something similar like this last year also.
He has every year in Tampa in the first 5 weeks of the season. Like he did his first year in Tampa too.
Like, dog, what's going on with you, Tom?
I mean,
you're a quarterback. You're not going to throw a punch. Don't incite one of your other guys to handle your business for you either.
He's kind of the offensive coordinator of that team. Not offensive coordinator. I shouldn't say that. But as far as having an offensive-minded head coach, Todd Bowles ain't that.
No.
Like Todd Bowles is is certainly more of a defensive guy.
Yeah.
It feels like he's taking more responsibility.
Yeah.
To bring along these 3rd, 4th, and 5th receivers that are 1, 2, and 3 because Julio Jones is hurt again and it's Groundhog Day.
I didn't realize that this rivalry is this with Tampa and the Saints.
100%.
Really?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Sheesh.
Definitely. 615-737-1045 is the number this morning. John of the Borough will lead us off when we come back as we take a look at the NFL headlines, the college football headlines from a very busy week in the football world. We revisit our Friday Five from last week's shows, and we give you our takeaways of the biggest things that we learned in the world of college football and the NFL. Going to be a fun show today, kicking off a Titans game day here with you. It's Ramona Will, powered by all 4 seasons of 104.5 The Zone.
Summer's over, but that joint pain is still there, and it's time to do something about it. Hey, it's Ramon Foster, and I want you to call QC Kinetics today. You've put it off long enough, and it's time to get real, lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees and back and shoulders and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Regenerative medicine uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough natural approach to eliminating joint pain. Lots of people here have already done this, and they are living life to the fullest, pain-free. Don't assume the old ways of dealing with joint pain are the only ways. Call QC Kinetics today. Stop putting it off. Call now for a free consultation at 615-249-4024. That's 615-249-4024. Again, 615-249-4024.
it has to be brutal honesty, and we've got to find ways to play the way that we're capable of. And it starts with me, and I've got to do that this week.
Oh, yes, the worst quarterback in the AFC South this weekend. Plays for the Indianapolis Colts. It's Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors here on 104.5 The Zone. The most recent quarterback that has joined the Colts and has continued to lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Will Bollinger, Bone Foster with you, previewing Titans and Bills with you here all morning on 104.5 The Zone, where we go back to the phone lines for John in the Borough. Checking in with us this morning. Hello, John.
What's up, John? Good morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. Despite the fact that I had 3 parlays on Saturday for college football, 2 were 17 legs and 1 was a 16 leg, and I missed all 3 parlays by a total of 4 games.
Wow.
I would have cleared enough money that I wouldn't have to go back to work this week.
Uh-oh.
Sorry,
yeah,
John.
it would have been nice. But it was a good weekend. The only issue I had was yesterday's game between the Saints and the Bucks. Leonard Fournette got away with it yesterday, and I thought that if Lattimore plays if Evans plays another down this season, then it shows that players can get away with just coming off the bench, flying in, hitting somebody, blindsided, and not really suffer any repercussions. Leonard Fournette should also be suspended for the rest of the season. Lattimore responding was wrong. I will say that as a Saints fan. Remember, it's never the guy who shoves first that gets caught by the refs. It's always the guy who shoves back.
Yeah.
But we've got to do something, and letting Fournette and Evans get away with what they got away with sends the wrong message to every player in the NFL.
Thank you, John.
One thing I'll say, Evans wasn't completely off the field. He was on the field. He came back to defend Tom Brady. I'd also say this, and of course, most people be like, well, Mon, you're a Brady hater. I'm not. I actually appreciate him more now. But Brady instigated the entire situation.
Right.
If there's anything that happened to him, probably a fine. Probably will not be suspended because he didn't throw a punch. But if Brady doesn't do that trigger hand or that pistol hand point at Lattimore, about Lattimore, none of this happened. I'll say this, John, naturally players are going, especially offensive players, are going to defend their quarterback.
Of course.
If you hit them too hard, the little extra shove, saying something to them, I don't think they need to be banned. I'll say I feel like Evans will get a suspension.
He'll get a game.
I feel like Fournette and Brady probably will get fined. I don't think Lattimore will be suspended. People who cleared the bench are going to count every single head that crossed that path that was on the field, and they'll probably get about my fine when we had a situation like that with the Browns. I got fined $5,700. I actually had that fine dropped because I wasn't actually in the fight. I was running. They got me for running towards the fight. I didn't throw a punch or anything. I was actually the peacemaker in that situation. But every single body on the field that ran towards it will get at least $5,000 or more fine.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like the precedent is also important here. In 2017, when Mike Evans did the exact same thing to Marshawn Lattimore for the first time.
Got a history.
Literally, you could put them side by side, and it was the exact same thing. He got a 1-game suspension. So the floor is 1-game suspension for Mike Evans. I bet he probably gets 2 games.
You think now because he'd repeat?
Just because he did the same thing 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how that ends up taking place this week. Eric in Nashville.
Go ahead. What's up, Eric? Is
up next. We got 2 Erics on the phone line with us, both in Nashville. We'll go to Eric on line 1. Good morning, Eric. How are you?
Good morning, Eric.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure it was me. Yeah, I knew those 2 Erics.
You're
But
good.
every time when somebody says, is that the Eric? And I said, yeah, this is the Eric. Of course, the people refer to guys. What's up? Hey, guys, first of all, I just want to know, Ramon, you're pumped. Will, you're pumped. I know Vols fans are pumped with ESPN College Game Day coming to Knoxville next Saturday.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I wanted to be the first to say that. So,
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. But, guys, about the NFL yesterday, could you ever remember one of the wildest Sundays in NFL, what happened in the Raiders, Arizona Cardinals game, what happened between the Jets and Cleveland, what happened between Miami and Baltimore,
Yeah.
and then the Cowboys and the Bengals. I mean, it's just, I tell you what, I mean, fans probably were going nuts. You probably had to have all them TVs if you were in sports bars. It's all those ends where games get blown and stuff, guys. But it also sets up tonight's game, which is real interesting. I'm hoping the Titans win. Would it surprise them if they lose? No. And it also would not surprise me if they win because of the fact that they lose games they're not supposed to and win games that they're supposed to. You don't like to look ahead, but if the Titans lose tonight, that means they and the Raiders are both 0-2, which means there's a possibility that somebody could wind up 0-3. Guys, the real reason why I'm kind of nervous for the Titans tonight is because of one player, and that's Von Miller, what he has brought to that defense. And, of course, when they sacked Stafford, they didn't blitz him. So, by feeling this, they're going to try and probably blitz Tannehill. I mean, whether or not he'll be able to get the ball off, I don't know. I mean, Buffalo's so good up front. Their linebackers are solid. The only question marks they have the secondary with injury and at times inconsistent play, and the running game has been inconsistent. But this is just a game where the Titans need to win it really, really desperately. But one last thing, guys, and I'll get off. One of the things that we've counted on in the past is coming up with a victory like that, like this, especially after losing the team that we shouldn't have lost to. Guys, it's getting to the point we need to break that pattern. You can't count on that year after year because every single year is different, and there's going to come a point where that's just not going to fly anymore. I mean, I want the Titans to be more consistent, but you can't always count on coming up with a victory over a team that you're supposed to beat, because that's not always going to work out. Because we've had a few games where, like, for instance, I remember Green Bay game, Sunday night game, where we got destroyed.
Yeah.
Even though we've had games in the past where we've come up with a victory, like the Rams last year in Kansas City, Buffalo, where nobody gave us a chance to win. It's just my point is you cannot count on and rely on that every single year, because one of these years it finally comes back to bite you in the rear end. Hopefully they'll win tonight, but I just want to get out of that pattern and just play more consistently. Guys, y'all take care and have a great day.
Thank you, Eric.
Awesome call right there.
Appreciate the call.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly a trend that needs to be broken.
Yeah.
When you talk about the Titans performing down to the level of their opponents, because you can't sustain the success that you had against really good teams last year and the failures that you had against really bad teams last year.
Right. This isn't a scale, right? Like either you are or you aren't in these situations. Eric, I can't top that call right there. By this is a fan kind of breaking that down as far as, okay, we got to get past this repetition of, losing the teams. Like, and to the Giants' credit, they did win yesterday too. So take that for what it's worth. There are no participation trophies. Right.
I don't know how they're 2-0.
Yeah.
They should be 0-2.
It's just amazing what a coach will do for that type of team,
Sure.
when talent is somewhat there.
Usually playing at home is also like a disadvantage in New York for those two teams because that crowd gets so toxic so quickly. And there were some boos as they were going off into the halftime locker room against Carolina. But Jonathan Schaefer was correct, I think, last week in saying the Carolina Panthers are the worst team in the NFL.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, after the Jets come back, it's not the Jets.
Yep.
After the Jags just absolutely pantsed the Indianapolis Colts, it's definitely not the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No.
Like the Carolina Panthers are the worst team in the NFL right
They're
now.
bad.
Are bad.
Really bad at football.
What's crazy, they traded for 2 first-round quarterbacks with their 5th-year option just to be a top 5 pick next year to get another quarterback.
Yeah, that's right.
That they'll have to give a 5th-year option to at some point in time.
Welcome Bryce Young to the Carolina Panthers. Also, it's incredible how quickly Anthony Richardson became not QB1 in the 2023 NFL draft. I literally saw a mock draft after week 1, Ramon, that had him as the number 2 overall pick behind Will Anderson.
That was a bunch of loans taken out that weekend, wasn't it?
By the way, have Anthony Richardson and Joe Milton ever been seen in the same room at the same time? Have we gotten eyes on both of them being separate human beings?
No, we have not.
Because I think they might be the same quarterback.
I'll tell you what,
like
South
Anthony
Florida,
Richardson has 2021 Joe Milton Florida has 2021 Joe Milton as their
do.
quarterback.
They really do.
Hopefully he doesn't become 2022 Joe Milton.
I'm hoping he's looking like Pitt Panther versus the Vols Joe Milton is what I'm hoping.
Oh, goodness. 615-737-1045. Let's go to Eric in Nashville on line 2. That's Eric.
E2.
That was hanging out with us. Hello, Eric.
What's up, Eric?
Well, good morning. Hey, speaking of that, Joe Milton has more touchdown passes this year than Anthony Richardson.
That's
does.
right. Yeah, I tweeted
I
that
didn't
out.
realize
I tweeted
that.
that out with. I tweeted that out Saturday night. I said with his second touchdown throw of the second half, Joe Milton has 2 more touchdown throws than Anthony Richardson this season.
Didn't know that.
Eric, I want to congratulate you on the phone lines today. You have as many touchdown passes as Anthony Richardson does this season. So congratulations.
So that first game, the Utah game, he didn't throw one?
No.
No, he threw a 2-point conversion. That's the only thing he threw.
Whoa.
That, and that's the thing. I was going to talk about yesterday, but I'll get on Tennessee, Florida first thing. But for the first, now somebody's going to play out of their mind against Tennessee. It just always happens with Florida. But there's not a Jabbar Gaffney or some of these just unreal wide receivers that Florida always had. They can't throw the football. None of their wide receivers scare me. Their rushing defense is absolutely atrocious. I'm not sure exactly what South Florida got on them, but I know Utah and Kentucky ran for over 200 yards apiece against them.
Yeah.
They don't have that lockdown All-American type cornerback that they've had in years past that's given us trouble. So I like Tennessee's chances in this game. I'm just gonna,
Yeah,
there are a lot of
absolutely.
people. There are people. We can't checker the stadium. We can't have game day. We can't we can't let Peyton because we never win with. You know what? People that believe in curses are the same ones that'll tell you it's raining and it's 100 degrees and sunny outside.
Yeah.
You couldn't believe me. There's no such thing as curses. There's no such thing as anything like that. It's Are you a good football team on that day, or are you a bad football team on that day?
Look, Eric, if Ramon Foster and I could speak something into existence, if our words had that much power over Tennessee football, they'd be like the 20-time defending national champions.
Exactly. I tell you what, I guarantee you there's never been one player. Ramon, you probably speak about this. Have you ever looked in the stadium during the game and said, well, that guy's wearing a different jersey. Well, we got no chance of winning that because every time he comes in wearing that jersey, we never win. Or
Never.
That's right.
Yeah, come on. Have some common sense, people. And besides, I've been to all but one of the Checker Kneeling games. The atmosphere is up to another level.
Yeah.
Sure is.
And Florida's walking into a hornet's nest. They haven't played on the road. Anthony Richardson has never started a game on the road. And I'll tell you what, with the way our defense, Tennessee's defense didn't get enough credit. They're getting after folks.
They didn't get enough credit last year.
Right.
I mean, they played, if you go back, even the Florida, Alabama, Georgia games, they were one-possession games in the fourth quarter. They just got worn down with no depth. But that's changed this year.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, yesterday, somebody must be getting the NFL and college football drunk before the game started. These few weekends have just been absolutely incredible.
Absolutely. Thank you for the call, Eric. I appreciate the time.
Eric, I see you fired up, man. I see Eric is fired up. I love it.
I love it. Somebody's hitting the Buffalo Wild Wings button every single weekend.
Keep it going.
All right, so Friday 5.
Friday 5, we got to get to it.
You start in the NFL.
Football gets you going, Will.
That's right.
Just pump it into your veins, man. By the way, my Friday 5 that I picked this weekend, every single game had something happen. And I was almost not on the Seattle Seahawks and 49ers game, but they had a controversy also. Number 5 was Lions Commanders. Said it then. I said, I feel like the Lions will get this one.
They looked pretty good.
Shafe, you said something earlier in the studio. You said, what about the Lions?
Ain't bad.
Ain't bad.
The Lions did not score 35-plus points in a game between week 1 of 2018 and week 17 of last year.
Get out of here.
And now they've done it in 2 consecutive games to start 2022, making it 3 straight games that they've hit that threshold, counting week 18 against the Packers last season.
Yeah.
The last time the Lions did that, Ramon Foster?
Yeah.
1952 and 1953.
Somebody deserves to be slapped.
Back when they won the NFL championship. This is pre-Super Bowl in back-to-back seasons in 52 and 53.
Wow.
Where were you in 1952? 615-737.
My mom wasn't even born yet.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
My mom was born in 64. That's crazy, man. But again, Goff 4 touchdowns, and I simply put the Lions may actually be good. Everybody wants the
okay.
guy Dan Campbell, from the beginning, when he said bite kneecaps, seemed to be the guy that was good for Detroit.
Football guy.
They couldn't go with a cookie cutter guy, right?
No.
This is what we're seeing so far. Number 4 on that list probably should have been higher. Colts Jags. 24-0. Okay, 3 picks for Matty Ice, and let me just be the first one, as Ron Slay has been on this train for a very long time.
That's right.
He's not that guy.
Not that guy at all.
And I'm sorry that I said I think he still has something left in the tank. I don't know. It's only 2 weeks, but he hasn't looked good in 2 weeks.
So I'm gonna be unpopular here
Go ahead.
and play a little bit of devil's advocate.
Oh, little DA here, huh?
The supporting cast around Matt Ryan in that game yesterday
Yeah.
was worse than his supporting cast in Atlanta. Ooh. Michael Pittman Jr. was hurt and Alec Pierce was hurt.
Okay.
Now, granted, that's not defending the Colts. It's
Right.
defending him.
Right.
It's defending Matt Ryan.
Right.
They don't have a left tackle.
Okay.
They've got a great left guard, obviously,
Yeah.
in Quentin Nelson.
ADMs.
That's about all that Chris Ballard can say he's definitively done really well.
Yeah.
Is draft Quentin Nelson. But the supporting cast was really bad in that game with the top 2 receivers hurt, and they've got nobody behind those 2 dudes. So that's not to say that the Colts should still be the favorite in the AFC South. I think there are a lot of Titans fans that are going back to the future bets they made to win the AFC South before the season, and they're doubling down intelligently on that. Mm-hmm. But Matt Ryan looked really bad in this game.
Also, the biggest question mark of the offseason was, how do you pay that guy? Well, Christian Kirk also had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he played pretty well.
Yeah. So
Played pretty well. Trevor Lawrence,
I
25 of 30 for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was solid.
I tweeted out yesterday, you better get Trevor Lawrence while you can. Beat him while you can. If he actually turns the corner to be a good quarterback for that franchise, competitive division, which I think the AFC South needs. Is one of the biggest detriments to the Titans is, well, look who you're playing. Well, you need kind of the Jags to get good. Okay, let's just throw that out there. Number 3 on that list turned out to be a phenomenal game, man. Dolphins, Ravens.
Yeah, that's the game of the weekend. Well, that and Cardinals and Cardinals and Raiders.
And
were the games of the
Raiders,
weekend.
yeah. But 6 touchdowns for Tua. What were they down? 21 going into the 4th?
35-14 at the start of the 4th quarter.
Tua Tagovailoa, QB Alabama.
Oh, that's
That's a
shout
good one.
out to Rick Ross. With that being said, though, Tua did his thing. He's got 2 of the best young guys in the league, man.
Jalen Waddle, 11 catches on 19 targets for 171.
How many targets?
A 19.
Whoo!
And then Tyreek Hill, 11 catches on 13 targets for a $190, a 60-yarder, and 2 touchdowns.
What's crazy is you can coexist with a guy who's a true number 1 getting paid like number 1, but the young second-year guy is getting 19 targets.
Yeah, that's Mike McDaniel might be that guy.
That's minimizing yourself, Tariq.
Mike McDaniel might be that guy.
If you were paid the money that Tariq was, are you lightly upset that he's getting 19
absolutely
targets?
not. You got 190 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Most wide receivers. Hey! You paid me to do all of that.
I don't think he cares at all.
No, I'm with you. Like he's got
Right.
his ring and he's stacking stats at this point. You're right, but 19 targets for Waddle.
It's crazy.
That's crazy, man. But they're good though. But I'll say this: Baltimore, you idiots. You're idiots. Okay. You're idiots.
There's a lot of bad. AFC North had a rough day yesterday.
The coaching in itself was bad for Baltimore. To pull your foot off the gas was bad for Baltimore. But Lamar friggin' Aloysius Jackson, okay? Everybody's middle name is Aloysius, by the way. Had 318 passing yards with 3 touchdown passing, okay? And had 119 rushing with a touchdown in itself. Say what you want to. He wasn't the reason why they lost.
Right.
And his price continues to go up.
Sure.
Just want to throw that out there.
He's going crazy. 615-737-1045. After the break, we give you the top 2 games from last week in the NFL that we told you we would be watching for, the takeaways we get from that, plus the 5 college football questions that we have answers to from week number 3 in the college football world. All that and more coming up next. Ramona Will, powered by All 4 Seasons, 104.5 The Zone.
104.5 The Zone is heading to Knoxville Saturday to see Tennessee versus Florida, thanks to Brentwood Hearing Center. Join us as we broadcast live ahead of the game from Calhoun's on the River as we get you ready for Tennessee versus Florida. We'll be broadcasting live with Will Bowling, Ramon Foster, Ron Slay from 11 to 12:30 right here on The Zone.
That's right, Jonathan Schaefer. The biggest pregame show in Knoxville this weekend will be live at Calhoun's on the River. Anything else is just an add-on, after the fact. It's Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons on 104.5 The Zone. 615-737-1045 is how you interact with us. And we go to D'Angelo in New York this morning to talk some Titans. Good morning, D'Angelo.
Morning, D'Angelo.
What up? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you?
I'm good. I'm riding through New York. They ain't ready for us. I don't see nobody. I don't see no Buffalo fans out. They ain't ready.
Love it.
Let it be known, D'Angelo.
My prediction on the score tonight, 27-23 Titans.
Okay. Gonna need it. Gonna need it in Buffalo, though. Especially the way they parading Josh Allen around, man. He's a bad dude. Got to give it to him.
Yeah, he all right. Hey, when that Titans defense get to him, you gonna see what it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We gonna see.
Thank you, D'Angelo.
Monday night game tonight, prime time, man.
Calling a shot.
Calling a shot. I love it. Early this morning, too.
So, Ramon, your top two games in the NFL this weekend.
Top two games this weekend, man. Number two, Seahawks 49ers. I didn't know it was going to be this, but of course, what happens, man? Trey Lance go down, has to have his leg put in the air cast, done for the season, and guess who comes in? Jimmy G, saving the day, man. And I also had the question, can Geno do it again? And the question was no. Geno could not do it again. I think he had no touchdowns throughout the game, but Jimmy G ended up having 197, one touchdown, and he did it again, man. I was excited to kind of see that turn into it, but it also lends to the conversation of why you need a really good backup quarterback. The Cowboys experienced that yesterday also with Dak being down and their backup quarterback being able to win against the Bengals yesterday, man. Okay. Fraud alert, Will. Just going to throw that out there because you lightly introduced it to us. Yes, fraud alert.
Interesting.
Again, they're not surprising anybody anymore, okay? And my number one game to watch this weekend was the Bucs-Saints. Of course, Saints had won all four regular season games against Brady since 2020, and they had intercepted him 8 times. Well, guess what? A brawl turned into a win for the Bucs yesterday, man. Good on them, but bad because they lost. They lost their starting wide receiver, all-pro wide receiver. Just a sloppy game. It was 9-6 at some point, 9-3, 6-3 at some point.
Yep.
But Bucs and Brady ended up winning at an expense, though. So all 5 games this past weekend from the Friday 5 turned out to be really good watching because this is the thing, too. Saturday college slate was a little bit of a snooze for college.
Yeah, a little bit slow.
Yeah, a little slow. So NFL backed us up, though, Will.
NFL never slow.
Yeah, NFL never slow.
Not for a single day. Okay, so there's the 5 games that we were paying attention to over the weekend in the National Football League. Some interesting endings, for sure. It's crazy to think about the fact that the Jets were down 30-17 with 1:55 left, and they come back to beat the Keebler Elves in Cleveland. The Dolphins were down 35-14 at the start of the fourth quarter. They come back to win. And the Cardinals were down 20-0 at halftime in Vegas and 23-7 at the start of the fourth, and they come back to win. Kyler Murray answered the call of duty in the fourth quarter, like Scott Hansen said on NFL Red Zone. I was like kind of taking it easy yesterday. I was just chilling, had Red Zone on. Yeah. And then I see Kyler Murray complete a pass, and Scott Hansen goes, Kyler Murray answering the call of duty. And I stood up in my chair and started clapping.
What is good?
Woke me up for the rest of the day.
Respect, right?
It was really good.
I love
Scott Hansen's just terrific. At one point, though, I did get a YouTube TV message yesterday, no free shout-outs, that was like, are you still watching this program? And I was like, yes, I am.
You should have said, mind your damn business.
I need to turn that off on NFL Red Zone. 7 hours of commercial-free football starts now. God, it's the absolute greatest. That is the bright side, though, of the Titans not playing on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Is just sitting there and watching NFL Red Zone.
Live stress-free, baby.
Like when people ask me what my favorite TV show is, I tell them NFL Red Zone.
Yeah. Is it really? I don't
Not
like
really.
Red
It's
Zone.
The
I hate
Office,
the clips,
but-
man. I'd rather watch the whole
Do you
game.
really?
I'm weird like that, though. Some people want the instant, like, excitement. I'm like, nah, give me.
I
Because
need-
you
I
get
need-
to the
I need
red
the
zone, you only get a
overstimulation.
field goal. And I'm like, wasting my time.
615-737-1045. Jason in Nashville is up next this morning. Hello, Jason.
Morning, Jason.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, man. Yeah, I was touching on that 49ers game, man, because I was like, I listened to a lot of people talk about, well, they just keep Jim and Garoppolo because, you know, it don't seem like they got much faith in Trey Lance. And I'm sitting there thinking this is a win-win for the Niners, and now this turns out to be that way. But part of me yesterday when I seen Trey Lance go down, that was, you know, that's disappointing to see that, man, because he waited that whole time to get his chance, and now he's out in the second week. And then it makes me wonder what they're going to do going forward because, you know, you needed him to get them reps now and get that experience. And, you know, they only signed Jimmy for that 1 year. Next year he's going for the money. That's what he's playing for now because he didn't get that money because he had that surgery. And so nobody would pick him up off the Niners.
Right.
But now he knows next year I'm playing for my contract, and if y'all ain't going to give it to me, somebody else will. So I don't know what we're going to do next year. That's my biggest thing. But y'all have a blessed day. Thanks.
Thank
No
you,
doubt
Jason.
about it.
Appreciate the call.
Absolutely.
We were all waiting for that first big injury for Jimmy Garoppolo to be proposed as a trade for a fifth or a fourth or whatever it is to go be the guy somewhere else. Turns out that injury is where he already was.
Mm-hmm. It was, man. He was already there. And I guess I guarantee you the 49ers sat in their offices yesterday after watching that film and said, guys, we lucked up. We legitimately lucked up. Because they tried to off Jimmy G the entire offseason. You knew it. That was the only conversation that was had. And nobody was putting it out but them, though, either. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like, who's going to take him? You take him. I don't need him. And now, look, you do need him, man. Sometimes you got to slow the process down a little bit. By the way, speaking of slowing the process down a little bit, again, the OL is something that people have to pay attention to. I just got to go I look at Cooper Rush's stat line, the Cowboys versus the Bengals. Last weekend, I think they gave up 6 or 7 sacks.
Okay.
Bengals, again, gave up 6 sacks again this past weekend.
Yeah, it's not great. Lyle Collins has not fixed that offensive line.
Oh, my gosh.
A couple of new faces, but it is the same Bengals offensive line.
It is the same group.
You could put the 85 Bears offensive line in Bengals jerseys, and Joe Burrow would still get sacked about 5 times a game.
What do you do in this situation? Pray?
I mean, you just keep drafting them.
Yeah.
But you drafted Jamar Chase, so you took that risk.
You took that risk. Sure did, Will.
I saw a funny tweet from our buddy Mike Giannitti of Spot Track yesterday on Twitter. He had a great Twitter poll and said, which has the biggest number this year? Aaron Judge home runs, Joe Burrow sacks against, Patrick Mahomes touchdown passes, or Golden State Warriors wins? Was his question. And I said, when presented with multiple options that include Joe Burrow sacks against, always take Joe Burrow sacks against. 615-737-1045. 1 hour down and 3 more to go.
You get me, Will.
Today here on Remote and Will, coming up, we break down our 5 biggest college football games over the weekend. Tell you what we learned out of that. Plus, reset the Titans headlines. Take a look at the injury report that we got over the weekend. Going to be a fun show today with Kevin Dyson coming up. He knows a thing or two about playing the Bills as well at 7:20. All that and more as we talk to you on a Titans game day on 104.5 The Zone.
Are you tired of working with someone who doesn't see your potential or providing you with the opportunity to grow in your industry? Hey, it's Ramon Foster, and I know the company that can offer you the opportunity you are looking for, and they are Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling is a small, locally owned company that is looking to get bigger, and you could be a part of that expansion. Become one of their service experts and receive medical, dental, and vision benefits, matching 401k, 2 weeks of vacation after the first year, holiday pay, company and factory training, plus top pay within industry standards. You could become Spring Hill Heating and Cooling's next All-Star. Apply now at springhillac.com.
It is 7:01. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. The Tennessee Titans travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills on Monday Night Football. Titans looking to bounce back from a disappointing 21-20 Week 1 loss to the New York Giants. Meanwhile, the Bills blasted the Rams 31-10 in L.A. in the league's season opener 2 Thursdays ago. Titans safety Amani Hooker told Ramon and Will that players live for primetime games like tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a game you want to play in. This is a game, when you're younger and you grow up and you watching the ball on TV, it's the night games that are the ones that you dream about playing in. And being able to play in those definitely against a great quarterback and a great team, it's a great opportunity, to showcase what we have as a team and to showcase your ability.
Kickoff is set for 6:15 tonight with Mike Keith and Dave McGinnis on Titans Radio. Christian Fulton, also Dontrell Hilliard and Jamarco Jones are ruled out for tonight's game. The other Monday Night Football game tonight is Minnesota at Philadelphia. 7:30 will be the kickoff for that. AFC South action yesterday. The Jags all over the Colts, 24-0. Broncos 16, Texans 9. Sunday Night Football, it was Green Bay 27 and Chicago 10. Roy Foundation Repair and Waterproofing needs. Visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your Over the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5. The Zone.
It's a Tennessee Titans game day in the Music City. The Monday edition of Ramon and Will, powered by All Four Seasons, is off and running. Full house today. Jonathan Schaefer making the show happen. Ramon Foster to my left. My name is Will Bowling. Dr. Kevin Dyson joins us in about 15 minutes. A doctor not only in the terms of education, but also in beating Bill's Mafia and making them angrier than they ever need to be. And it's the perfect day to talk with him here this morning. 615-737-1045 is the number. We have run through the headlines of the NFL weekend, where, like we said off the top, Ramon Foster, in a crazy weekend, at least we can count on the Colts doing Colts things against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And I'm looking at this game as we're doing this show a little bit on break. And their O-line doesn't look good. You're right. He doesn't have the supporting cast around him as far as the Colts go. And I'm saying all this, and there's a bunch of Titans fans right now that's saying, screw the Colts. But they don't look good. 17-0 right now with 1 minute left in the first half. This is just bad. They're a bad team right now. And, of course, this method of going out and getting a veteran quarterback, hoping that it jumpstarts your team to say, all right, we'll pick up where we left off. It's not working. We're seeing two teams right now kind of do that. We're looking at Colts right now, who are sitting, what are they, 0-1-1?
Yep.
And we're looking at the Broncos also, who they won yesterday. But did they?
But at what cost?
At what cost? You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Russ is getting real finicky as Matt Ryan takes another sack from the Jacksonville defense. That offensive line, I was telling you on break, I was like, there was a stunt there that I was just like, that's simple. You got to be able to pick this up. How could you not pick up this stunt across their front line? And they overloaded it to the left side where Quentin was, and they went right at him. So it's Colts are being a coach right now. I got one of my good friends text me and say, yeah, we're bad. I was like, yeah, you are. But nobody cares about the Colts' problems. Titans got Monday night tonight.
They do. Well, I think Titans fans absolutely care about the Colts' problems today because the Titans' problems are no longer as important. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Titans can lose tonight and still feel confident about winning the AFC South.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the development this team had over the weekend.
Yeah.
There's less pressure on you tonight. That's not the way they're going to look at it in that locker room. Not the way they should look at it. But you're okay in the division, even at 0-2.
0-2.
Which is crazy to think about. I think 9 wins legitimately might win the AFC South this year.
Is that where we are, you think?
Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacksonville is your main competition right now to win the AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it.
But you had a Houston team push Denver to the brink yesterday, man. Davis friggin' Mills, man.
He's not bad. Davis Mills is an okay quarterback.
Their coaches have been on him since the day Deshaun was, told not to practice anymore. They have been legitimately saying Davis Mills can play in this league.
He's okay.
And of course, is he a world beater? Probably not. But if you got a good defense, which Lovie Smith usually does, and they played really good defense yesterday, this is what happens when you got a serviceable quarterback, right?
Maybe they did it to the Titans last year.
Think about it.
In Nashville.
Think about it. You know what I'm saying? So, not crazy to say that they're competing right now. And maybe it's a little bit of rust. Maybe it's a lot of what Houston is bringing to the table. But watching what Jacksonville did to Indy yesterday, you cannot walk into that Duval or when they visit here in Nashville and say this is going to be a cupcake match. They absolutely embarrassed Indy yesterday, I thought. First half of the game, 17-0. You blanked a division rival in the Indianapolis Colts with a veteran quarterback. Yeah, a lot of respect deserves to be given to the team in Jacksonville right now. I ain't going to say a lot of respect. What I'm saying is this.
More respect.
More respect is due when they got a quarterback that seems like he's been coached up well right now. And not just that, they have a running game. You're seeing these guys kind of get it together, man. And to me, I think this is all well because the AFC South needs this type of elevated play from your division rivals, man.
The last time that the Jaguars, the Lions, and the Jets all won on the same day, how many years ago do you think it was?
Jaguars,
Jets, and Lions.
2006.
A little bit more recent than that.
Is it more recent?
2011.
I couldn't tell.
December 11th, 2011. On that day, Jacksonville beat the Bucks, the Jets beat the Chiefs, and the Lions outlasted the Vikings. So, a little bit of a chaotic day in the National Football League.
Blanked the Colts
yesterday.
24-0.
They've blanked the Colts a lot, too, recently.
What is it about Jacksonville? I've played there. We've won there.
Yeah.
The heat.
They see that pool up there. They just start shaking. Yeah, I don't know. Let's quickly go through the college football questions and answers that we had, the things that we have learned over the college football weekend. BYU and Oregon was the first question that I had because Oregon had failed to cover in each of its last 4 games against AP-ranked teams. BYU is 5-0 against the Pac-12 last year. Oregon won this game handily. They were up 38-7. They win this one 41-20.
Yeah.
Jaron Hall was okay for BYU, but they were 0 for 4 on 4th down. Couldn't run the football very well. Give credit to Dan Lanning in Oregon.
Yeah.
Bouncing back really well after just getting crushed by Georgia in week 1. They have now bounced back from that loss with a 70-14 win over Eastern Washington, and then a 41-20 win over BYU at home. Not bad.
Bo Nix behind center.
That was good, Bo Nix.
Making it happen, man. Good for Bo.
Speaking of Bo Nix. Penn State. We said on Friday, why in the world is this line only 2.5 points to Penn State?
Yeah.
That's why. It's funny because Sean Clifford, the Penn State quarterback, is like a Big Ten Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Like when he's good, Penn State is really, really good.
Really rocking.
When he's bad, they lose to Rutgers. Like they could beat Ohio State on a given day or lose to Rutgers on a given day. The way Penn State works. He was 28 of 32 a year ago. Excellent again in this game. Penn State, though, the story of this game, they run the ball for 245 yards, and freshman Nick Singleton has 124, including a 54-yard touchdown run. That guy has rushed for more than 100 yards in each of his last 2 games. Penn State forces 4 turnovers, breaking the game open, and they outscore Auburn 17-0 in the third quarter.
By the way, I was in a car going to a baseball tournament this weekend. I was listening to the radio, scanning through a lot of stuff. There were some Big Ten analysts and commentators talking. I forget which game they were looking at, but they called out the Penn State matchup, and it was like, look at Penn State go down to Auburn, SEC country, huh? And the dude on the side, I guess the color guy was like, I guess it just means more.
Yeah, that's right.
Just mocking the SEC.
It means more when the third best team in your conference goes and beats the 13th best team in the Southeastern Conference.
I was like,
I love the way people cherry pick that.
There's the hate right there. I never knew they felt that way about the SEC, Will.
Right.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, okay, y'all got a little dice of petty up there, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oklahoma at Nebraska. The question I had was, could Nebraska look any better against Oklahoma?
I thought.
Narrator.
I thought.
They did not. I don't know why people thought there was anything different about Nebraska going into this game. Nebraska's bad at football.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the magic of going to Lincoln. Georgia Southern didn't care about the magic of going to Lincoln.
They didn't.
You just lost your first game in like 250 tries when you score 35 points in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's a bad football team.
Eric Gray got off, had a real good day.
Eric Gray was terrific in this game.
13, I think, 2 touchdowns, I think.
Yep.
By the way, the lineman that went there, is he even starting?
Which one?
The left tackle. Yeah, I'll give you his name in a minute, Will. The transfer.
Wasn't
he left.
Wanya Morris.
Wanye. I don't think Wanye's starting.
I don't know.
Why to leave?
No idea.
God, that's silly to me. I don't think Wanye's starting, but I'll confirm that in a second.
I think, yeah. Georgia, South Carolina.
Ugh.
Second question I had. I didn't expect South Carolina to fall down as much as they did against Georgia in this game. That one was really ugly.
Yeah.
Really, really ugly. Second largest spread that Georgia has had against South Carolina since the FBS-FCS split in 1978.
Jeez.
And they just absolutely rolled over the Gamecocks.
Yeah, he did.
Shane Beamer, people kind of upset with him for some answers that he had post-game. And, people need to chill on Shane Beamer, man.
No,
I'm serious. People need to chill on
not.
Shane Beamer because most teams would be 1-2 with Shane Beamer's schedule. I understand Shane Beamer fighting for his guys and trying to motivate his team.
Well, don't care.
What?
I can't
I don't understand like the agenda against this guy.
No, I can't understand why people love him so much.
It's not that I love him or anybody loves him. It's just the fact that like 99% of college football teams go 1-2 over the first 3 games that he's played.
No. All right, I'm going to let y'all have it. I'm not a Shane Beamer guy. From day one when he got, look at it, he looks this way. I'm like, so? I don't get it with Shane Beamer.
I don't understand the
I don't
understand the hate that people have for him. I really don't.
It's not even hate for me. I'm just like, why are we even caring?
It's South Carolina. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why do we care about South Carolina?
I don't know.
South Carolina is an irrelevant SEC East team.
And I guess that's the reason I look at it and say, well, why are people so high on him? I don't get this one with Beamer.
He's a nice guy.
Nice guy finished last.
Well, a lot of nice guys. Derek Dooley was a nice guy. Not qualified to lead an SEC
different
football
word
program.
I like to call him.
And the number one, the game that I was most interested in was Texas A&M and Miami. Those were 2 bad football teams. Texas A&M is bad. Miami's bad.
You think Miami's
Penalties
bad?
offset, replay the down.
Oh, wow.
Their quarterback had no chemistry with those wide receivers. A&M goes to the LSU transfer, Max Johnson. He was just okay. Aggies were outgained 392 to 264 in this game. Had 16 first downs to Miami's 27. But Jimbo Fisher says they played opportunistic situational football. So I guess at the end of the day, that's all that mattered.
Yeah. By the way, Wanya is starting. He's a right tackle and not left tackle.
There you go.
Yeah. Miami's been champion so far. You're great. No dice.
I don't. No.
Everybody like Cristobal.
Very above average to okay football team.
Everybody love Cristobal though.
I'm
being very condescending right now.
That's
okay. Yeah, I'm just like, okay.
The way the Bengals lost and the way the Browns lost kind of motivated you to come in today a little bit more condescending.
You know what? I'm okay. I know the Steelers lost this past weekend. Okay, but we don't have Joe Burrow. Okay, we don't have Lamar. Okay?
And the 2 quarterbacks.
I'm not minimizing. An L is an L.
The 2 quarterbacks that Joe Burrow has lost to this season are Mitch Trubisky and Cooper Rush.
Say that again slowly.
Enough said. The 2 quarterbacks. I can't make you smile this much or this early in the show. Coming up next, Dr. Kevin Dyson joins us. Yes, Bills fans, it was a lateral. Kevin Dyson coming up next on 104.5 The Zone.
The only thing that's predictable about the weather is that it's unpredictable. Make sure your home is ready for the next storm, the next heat wave, or the next cold snap with the Lee Company Home Maintenance Plan. Hey, it's Jonathan Schaefer. Sign up today, and for less than $9 per month, their expert technicians will come out 4 times a year to take care of your cooling, your heating, your plumbing, and your electrical systems. Learn more, LeeCompany.com. You can also give them a call, as always, 615-567-1000. Again, for less than $9 per month, you get 4 visits a year under the Lee Company Home Maintenance Plan. LeeCompany.com, 615-567-1000. Lee Company, all you need.
Oh, yes, that music tonight for your Tennessee Titans. Monday Night Football, the Titans and the Bills. It is Ramon and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors here on 104.5 The Zone. Will Bowling, Ramon Foster with you. Jonathan Schaefer making the show happen this morning as we preview Titans and the Bills all day long right here on your home for Tennessee Titans football. We head to the Marks Payne Real Estate Hotline to check in with Dr. Kevin Dyson. And yes, my friends, it was a lateral. And this is Kevin Dyson Day for all who celebrate in the United States. Good morning, Dr. Dyson. How are you?
Doc?
Hey, good morning. So I got a day now, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely you do. And we've got a day. We've got a long night ahead of us, my friend. Are you bringing the coffee tonight or should I for Titans Talk Back postgame?
I got to figure out how I'm going to get a nap in between getting off of work and watching the game at 6 o'clock this evening. I got to figure this out, man, because that's going to be a long night.
You and me both. No doubt about it.
Did they actually give you the key to the city or, like, give you an unlimited black card to swipe in the city, though, Doc? Like, legitimately, like, that was a huge moment. See, you've been too humble about this. You got to go ask for somebody's black card, like, every day in this city, all right? Just saying.
Hey, you know what? Between your suggestion, Brett Doherty, and Mickey Ryan, I'm going to either have a statue, a black card, the key to the city. I'm going to have something. I need y'all to keep politicking for me.
Everybody eats, man.
We got you.
That's all we want.
That's it.
I love it.
Yeah, you know, it's just fun, man. This morning, as I was walking into work, I one of my teachers, she's actually from Buffalo, so we had a little talk, little conversation. I'm just hoping my boys pull it off because I cannot wear that other red, white, and blue jersey to work. I can't do it, y'all. So I know the Titans will come through.
No doubt about
Absolutely
it.
Absolutely right. Kevin Dyson with us here this morning on Ramon and Will. Obviously, this Titans and Bills rivalry became a rivalry in a lot of ways with the Music City Miracle, but in a more recent sense, just through the past 5 seasons, right? These teams have played every year since 2018. This game kind of feels like a rivalry kind of in a new way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I even go back to that playoff game with the Oilers, the come from behind victory. That was kind of when this all started with Frank Reich, I believe, was the quarterback. And then we kind of got that redemption, if you will, in 2000. But of recent, man, it's just been a very competitive time. We played them the very next year after the Music City Miracle, and in a tough game, try to kick a 60-yard field goal to win it. And, you know, it was a tough, hard-fought game going down there, especially the very next fall after the Music City Miracle. It was a tough place to play. But, you know, Buffalo's, you know, for lack of a better way to say this, I think they're the team to knock off in the AFC. I think the way their season ended, they had a lot of key components coming back. I think a lot of people are looking for them to be the representatives in the AFC. So this is a big benchmark for the Titans. You know, in a season in the NFL of this is the biggest game of the year. This is the biggest game of the year. We're on week 2.
Every single week it is, but especially on Monday night, man. With that being said, though, you look at the Bills situation, you got to kind of say to yourself, well, they are the Bills and they are that good. But like Kev, like you've been around this organization for a while as far as the Titans go. With that being said, everyone says this is the game they win. Why is that the case when it comes down to the Titans?
You know, it's hard to say. I don't know, just, you know, your back's against the wall and, you know, the chips are down, hyper-focused. I don't know, but it's in the last recent memory, I should say, with Vrabel, this is one of the games they tend to pull out. And I think now we all kind of recognize, keep talking about it, and guess what's going to happen? It's going to go the opposite way. But this is one of those things where he just seems to rally the troops. The guys come together, and they find a way to win, and it gets you excited because you see how much potential the team has against top-notch, what we perceive as top-notch teams, right? Because the Giants won again yesterday, and now they're sitting there at 2-0. But what we considered a top-notch team, and what we talked about it before, if you said the Titans were 1-1 going into week 3, you would have thought, okay, well, we understand with Buffalo. But now it's a tough game. You're going down there, like you talked about, this Monday Night Football, that level of intensity goes up just a little bit more. And now your backs are really against the wall. if you go down 0-2, because not very many teams have done that in the National Football League's history, started season 0-2 and made it to the playoffs. So this is a big game, man, and going to Buffalo, a team that caliber, man, everything's up against the wall for the Titans, man. If they can pull this out, it's going to be remarkable.
Yeah. Kevin Dyson with us here this morning. Kevin, do you feel like the Titans almost overcorrect too much to this underdog role? Do you kind of want to see them rally the troops before a loss versus after it like this? And how do you kind of find that balance in the locker room between kind of taking up that mid-market underdog mentality, but also recognizing you were the 1 seed in the AFC last year, and you should be beating teams like New York at home?
Well, I don't necessarily know, because I say it like this. In the National Football League, everybody's good, man, and it just depends on the Sunday. As we talked about, the Giants are sitting there 2-0, so they're not that bad, right? They're sitting there 2-0, and like I told you before, man, the difference between this Giants team and Giants team of last year, Saquon Barkley is healthy. They're just a different team with back there. He's a different quarterback with them. I think more or less, though, if you think about the underdog, whatever it takes from your team to be motivated, Moan could tell you it's hard to be up for 16, now 17 games to be at your optimum. It's just not going to happen. Your body's not going to feel it. You're not going to get a good night's rest. Something's going to take – it could be dreary day, cloudy, rainy, cold. Something is going to take that focus away from you. So if you have to find a tool, you have to find something, whether it be the underdog role, everybody's against us, somebody says something to it, we put that newspaper clipping in it, whatever a coach has to use to get that added edge, then that's what he's got to do, because it's hard to do that in National Football League. We've only seen perfection come close once in my lifetime, and that was the New England Patriots a few years ago. And you can't imagine that immense pressure they probably had going into that. And that is winning 19 games. And so it's not going to happen. It's hard. It's too balanced. Everybody's too good. Coaches are good. They got a lot of time to prepare. The players are excellent. Whether you're the first guy to the fourth guy, they're in the league, they can play. And so it's just whatever you can find to help you and your team get a little bit more, get a little edge, that's what you do. And for whatever worth, Vrabel has done that historically since his tenure, has found a way to bounce back. And if I'm a player, coach, or franchise, or the president or owner, I'm looking at that. That's pretty significant. You finding ways to bounce back and win tough games that people don't think you should win, just like the Giants did last week. That's the same kind of premise. You finding ways to win football games, and that's all you can ask for.
With a guy like Josh Allen on the other side at quarterback for the Bills, you have an idea, one, that he can move the ball with his legs, but he's also pretty good through the air too. Tonight, with that idea in mind, do you expect more from Traylon and Bobby and Robert Woods and Austin Hooper as far as this passing game go? Do you need more of that, or do you say slow it down and keep giving it to Derek?
I think you have to move the chains, man.
Okay.
I think you're gonna have to move the chains. Whatever they're giving you. This is an aggressive defense, some very good corners on the edges. You're gonna have to win some one-on-one battles. But at the end of the day, Ron, at the end of the day, you played in Pittsburgh. I don't care what Boston, y'all gonna run the football. It wasn't to the end of his career, to the end there, when y'all started throwing that ball in the air as much as you did. It was still City. You gonna run the football. At the end of the day, that was your identity. At the end of the day, that's the Titans' identity. They're going to run the football, but you still got to be able to make plays in the passing game. You still got to be able to play and stretch the defense. Somebody's going to have to make a big play vertically. Somebody's going to make a play on that 50-50 ball. Somebody's going to have to make that big play, run and catch. Those are the things that help spread the defense out, create more running lanes for the running back who you really want to have the ball in hand.
Kev, you've been in locker rooms the same way I have. You've been in meeting rooms. That's where a lot of the work is being done. Have you ever seen a coordinator, coach come out and say, you know what, that end of the round to Chig was my fault? Do you think that actually opens up Todd Downing a little bit more to say, publicly, I'm going to eat this? And he did last week. What do you think that does for this offense moving forward? The fact that, look, that wasn't on y'all, that was on me.
I've heard that in context, and there's a humbleness to that, right? You got to be able to admit your faults, and some of that's probably taking the pressure off the players. right? Say that was on me. Let me take off players so they can be relaxed and play tonight. Saying, hey, I'm going to put you guys in a better situation to be successful. That I didn't do that as part of my job. And this week, I promise you're going to get the best version of me. Now, y'all just got to go out there and make the plays. And I think there's a little bit of that give and take, right? Like, players play. So regardless of what the play call is, you still got to execute and make the play, whether it's a significant call or not. Sometimes bad play calls end up being the best plays, even though, like, dang, I should make that call. And it ends up being a great play. Why? Because somebody on the other side made a mistake or missed a tackle or something rather. And sometimes you're a great play call. You got a great rhythm going. It don't matter what you call, it's going to work. So it's that give and take. But for him to take that heat, I think that, again, you're talking about eliminating some of that pressure off of this big game and just going out there and playing ball. And he probably is in that meeting room and say, look, that's on me. But I promise you, I'm going to put you guys in better situations to be successful going forward, and now guys can relax and build that confidence back in him, and then they can build that confidence back on the field.
Yeah.
Kevin Dyson with us here this morning on Ramon and Will. Titans coaching staff has said they don't want to create plays just for Treylon Burks this early. They want him to continue taking steps forward in this offense. Only 24 snaps for him last week. Do you feel like it's time, with Kyle Phillips questionable, to start to create schemes and create routes just for Treylon Burks in order to really kind of force him the football in this game?
Not necessarily create schemes for him. I don't think you specialize package unless you just feel like that person just that dynamic, right? Like then yes, you talking about somebody gonna get 15 targets a game. That's a little different. I think yes, you run your scheme within that. You run plays he's confident in. You're confident in him, and you know his body language, his ability. Is he going to win this battle? Is he going to beat this guy one-on-one? Those are the plays you start looking for within your scheme. Then he starts showing that consistency and making those plays. Then you start elevating his role and extending that game plan to include those specific types of plays that cater to his ability. And then that's when the guy takes off. So, I didn't necessarily see anything the Titans did wrong with Treylon last week. I mean, 24 reps might have been semi-low, and I don't know if that's going to be similar this week, depending on, like you said, with Kyle Phillips and where he goes. I don't know if he's more of an inside guy compared to what Phillips is. And so, I just think you got to, again, it goes back to what we talked about just a minute ago. You got to be able to put your guys in favorable positions to have the most success. And whether that's a matchup, whether that's formationally, whether that's an adjustment, a motion, or whatever it may be, you as a coordinator, as a coaching staff, especially in NFL, you try to exploit weaknesses on the other side of the field and get favorable matchups and put your guys in situations that have the most success. And I'm saying that in the pro game, that's in every game, but specifically in the pros, that's exactly what you're trying to do, especially with the inside of your offense. And if you can do that, create those matchups, and he starts winning those, then you start creating more and more of those. But if he's not winning those, then, again, you're not doing anything extra. You're just calling your plays and going to the next guy.
Speaking of you said minimizing weaknesses. Well, let's minimize strengths also. There's a guy by the name of Von Miller on the other side. I know as far as offensive line and running backs and tight ends protections, you got to be able to, minimize a guy like him. As far as wide receivers, do you guys game plan change, like expect the ball quicker? Is that the conversation when you have a guy like that on the field?
It depends on the strength and the call where you're at, right?
Right.
He might be the side adjustment to what he's doing. So if he's on your side and you're in the slot, you might have been coached up to say, hey, if you see him on your side and they got this overlook or whatever you want to call it, get your head around quick. That linebacker leave or that middle linebacker, you cut your breaker right off right now, I'm coming. Because they know he's coming on the edge and they bring that extra guy just inside him to create a one-on-one that you might not have time to get it off. So it all depends on how the look is. But, man, he's special. He's been special for a long time. He's relentless. And he's gonna grab the quarterback. He's low center of gravity. Him and Dwight Freeney might be the shortest, most effective pass rushers I've seen in my 20-some-odd years affiliated with the NFL, man. And you know this better than me because them jokers so short, so low center of gravity. and they just get the shoulder dip so low, and it's hard for them big, tall tackles to get their hands on and be effective sometimes. But he's a special talent, even in his extended career, his age now. But it's going to be rough. You got to definitely be aware of what he is, and depending on the play calling and what their side adjustments are or their adjustments are, that becomes in play.
Yeah.
Dr. Kevin Dyson has been our guest here this morning on Ramon and Will. Happy Kevin Dyson Day to all who celebrate as the Titans take it on Bills Mafia tonight. Titans talk back tonight with me and Kevin Dyson post-game as well here on 104.5 The Zone. I will bring the coffee, my friend. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. I'm going to need it.
You and me both. Absolutely. There is Kevin Dyson with us this morning on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. How about that? Von Miller and Dwight Freeney. He says the two most efficient pass rushers that he has seen.
Seriously. And
High
what
praise.
he said about like that bend, being able to legitimately touch the ground, get back up and go make a sack, that's not normal.
No, it's not.
It's not normal, man. That's why hearing a coach say he's a walking gold jacket, I'll never not use that when it comes to Von Miller.
That's right. 615-737-1045 if you want to jump in on the conversation. Coming up, we take another look around the NFL at the crazy comebacks in the AFC, including a winless day for the AFC North. Some good and some bad for Ramon Foster to talk about within that. We'll do that coming up next. It's Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons on 104.5 The Zone.
You're tired of the inconveniences of apartment living where you can't paint the room the color you want to paint it. You got to make sure your music and your TV are down to a certain level so it's not bothering your neighbors. And you can't have a pet. Can't have a cat or a dog in your apartment for companionship. You're done. You're tired of it. You don't want to live in an apartment anymore. Hey, it's Jonathan Schaefer. I have the company for you. Mortgage Investors Group. They can get you in that first home, that starter home, by being the Southeast leading mortgage lender. They're here to help you get not just any loan, but the right home loan. They're committed to helping you close on time, structure your loan the best way that you need it, and make your home buying goals a reality. Find out the MIG difference by going to migonline.com, find the office nearest you, or text MIG to 31399. That's MIG to 31399 to get pre-qualified. Mortgage Investors Group, the right home loan, equal housing lender, license number 109111.
So 16 seconds to play. Bills 16, Titans 15. Kevin Dyson is deep with Ike Bird. Do the Titans have a miracle left in them in what has been a magical season to this point? If they do, they need it now. Christie kicks it high and short. Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson.
He's got something.
30,
He's
40,
got something.
50.
He's got it.
40,
He's got it.
20, 10.
He's got it.
End zone. Touchdown Titans. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle. Tennessee has pulled a miracle. A miracle for the Titans.
And no, that will never get old. Courtesy of the voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, and Titans Radio. Kevin Dyson, our guest in hour number 2 today. Appreciate him stopping by on Kevin Dyson Day. Yes, it was a lateral. Bills Mafia. It's Ramona Will, powered by all 4 seasons on 104.5 The Zone. The Music City Musical, Ramon Foster. That is right.
Yes, indeed.
Pro Football Talk this morning, just a couple of minutes ago, tweeting, per source, the NFL is working on addressing all things related to the Bucs-Saints brawl on Sunday, including the involvement of, quote, retired, unquote, Tampa Bay coach Bruce Arians from the sideline. Thought that was interesting.
Yeah, he was getting a little chesty.
He was.
That's BA, though. I've always said that about BA, from his players to how he interact with them to his coaches to how he is on game day, man.
Yeah.
BA's always that way. He's just got that old school. I don't even know where his coach is. It Parcells?
He's got the newsboy hat on.
I think he's Parcells.
He's selling papes out on the streets.
Yeah, God.
Like a newsie. Always makes me laugh. The little hat he always wears. I think he sleeps in that hat. He wakes up in the morning before he puts his slippers on. He puts on his hat.
Talk about a career though.
Oh yeah.
Win Super Bowl in Pittsburgh.
Impressive guy.
Then goes retire. Then picked up Arizona. Then goes to the Colts Coach of the Year. Is he Coach of the Year 2 times?
Colts then Arizona.
Colts and Arizona. Coach of the Year twice, right?
I think he was Coach of the Year with the Colts and once with Arizona.
Yeah.
There you go.
From retired to that.
Because he was filling in for, Chuck Pagano was filling in for him.
No,
he was filling in for
Chuck
had
Pagano.
cancer.
Chuck had cancer. Right. Yeah, 100%.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then he got the Arizona job from there. That's right.
Yeah.
But part of an entertaining weekend, Tom Brady gets his first regular season win over the Saints as the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Imagine.
Jameis Winston went full Jameis Winston in this game. That's bad Jameis. This is why when everyone says should Jameis be an MVP candidate?
Well, to be
absolutely
fair, the dude was all busted up going into this game.
I know, but you can't.
Let's be a little reasonable.
You can't throw it to the defense that much.
I mean, that's what Jameis does.
He went full Jameis.
He went full Jameis. There's times where you're like, man, this guy's a franchise, and he was a franchise guy. I'm not going to take that away from him. But then there's other times it's like, well, you didn't have to throw that one, Jameis.
That's right.
Like, come on, man. We're all rooting for you. 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions.
Goober.
Also 6 sacks, too.
That's right.
By the way, if I see one more quarterback, okay, tuck the ball, run out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage for a sack, I'm going to lose my mind.
Justin Fields did it last night.
I've seen middle school.
And I was literally yelling at him like, throw the ball away.
Throw it away. You know why they don't throw it away? Because it's an attempt and an incompletion. So it takes down their percentage.
Yeah.
Their completion percentage. That's one of the reasons. Not all of them. I think some of them are just that silly. Legitimately, I've seen middle school quarterbacks do this. I've seen high school quarterbacks. I've seen college and now the NFL. Throw the daggone ball away.
That's right.
Oh, all right. I'm off my offensive line soapbox right there.
Freaking bum.
I know. Thank you. Thank you, Schaefer.
So the AFC North goes winless yesterday. Steelers in a tight one with the Patriots, 17-14 loss. Really, one big throw to Nelson Aguilar ends up being the difference in that football game.
Come on.
Unlike Aguilar.
That's
That's one of my favorite videos. We were catching him. Unlike Aguilar. It's just incredible if you've seen that YouTube video. Yeah, the Philly guy talking about he was catching. There was a burning building, and he was catching people as they're jumping out of this building, from a second floor or whatever, helping them out. So we were catching them. Unlike Aguilar,
I saw that.
Philly people just doing the most at all times.
Ever
Wretched city.
Yes.
Absolutely it is.
Yes.
The Cleveland Keebler Elves and having the Elf on the 50-yard line for the first time, they lose to the New York Jets.
I think Buck's biggest losers over the weekend has to be the Browns again because those big dogs they have coming out of the tunnels.
And they would have won the game had Nick Chubb just taken a knee instead of going into the end zone to score his last touchdown in this game. That game is over. It's bad game management by
Fantasy
Cleveland.
points matter.
Well, you're right. But also, you're still up by 13 with under 2 minutes left.
I know, but that is the only way they get the ball back.
You're right.
You ain't wrong.
But their winning percentage, even in that situation, was still 99.8%.
Sure.
So, I mean,
make it 100.
Steelers might have lost, but it made me feel good that the Browns lost like that, though.
Kicks down my leg.
Yeah.
And then how about this from the Cincinnati Bengals loss to the Dallas Cowboys?
Kicks down my leg.
They did. And Joe Burrow, Ramon Foster,
Talk to me nicely.
has taken 13 sacks in the first 2 games of the season.
Boy.
The last quarterback to take 13 or more sacks through week 2 and go on to start more than 10 games. Mm-hmm. So the last quarterback to do this and survive, essentially is the point, was David Carr. Not Derek Carr. David Carr. For the Houston Texans, who did so twice in 2002 and 2005, leading the NFL in sacks taken in each of those years.
He's a suckish quarterback.
Not really great when you're compared to the original Houston Texans.
No, buddy. And this was a late afternoon game, too, wasn't it?
Cowboys and Bengals? Yeah.
It was
Nance and Romo.
This is one of those situations.
Tony Romo was doing PR for Cooper Rush the whole game.
What Cooper Rush did, what did you ask him to do also?
The whole game.
I just can't believe the Cincinnati Bengals are in this position. Like, legitimate. Of course, I troll all the time, right, when it comes down to them Browns and the Ravens. But there's no way I would have seen them starting the season off 0-2.
A lot of good 0-2 teams right now.
I had them winning the AFC.
Titans
North.
might join them tonight. But
look at
that. What I'm saying is that if the Titans lose tonight, you're in okay company.
Shocked.
You're in okay company. 615-737-1045 is the number. We reset the NFL headlines when we come back. Quickly take a look at Tennessee's win over Akron. Plus more of your phone calls. Halftime of the show.
Yeah.
Going by quick on the Titans Game Day Edition. Ramona Will, powered by all 4 seasons, 104.5 The Zone.
Well, Will, this is perfect because we hit our halftime show, and guess what? Window Nation is now your halftime show, okay? And it's Ramon Foster, so you can score new windows from Window Nation for half the price. That's why it's your halftime show, where you can get 2 free windows for every 2 you buy, plus pay nothing with no interest until 2025. You can lower your energy bills and raise the value of your home with new energy-efficient windows from Window Nation. And if you're not sure you need new windows, here are some pro tips for you. If they are sticking or drafty or cracked or hard to open or locking when they close, then you need new windows. Or are your windows leaking? Leaky windows can cause serious structural damage and allow for mold to grow in your home, often undetected. So choose a company with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, the company that has installed over 1 million windows and has over 1,500 custom vinyl window combinations available. That's Window Nation. Buy 2 windows and get 2 free on any style window from Window Nation. There is no limit, and make no payments and no down payments and pay nothing with no interest until 2025. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. Again, that's 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
It is 8:02. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer from the Superbook.com sports desk. The Tennessee Titans travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Monday Night Football tonight. Titans looking to bounce back from a disappointing 21-20 Week 1 loss to the New York Giants. Meanwhile, the Bills blasted the Rams 31-10 in L.A. in the league's season opener 2 Thursdays ago. Kickoff 6:15 tonight with Mike Keith and Dave McGinnis on Titans Radio. Christian Fulton, Dontrell Hilliard, Jamarco Jones, all out for tonight's game. The other Monday Night Football game tonight, Minnesota at Philadelphia. That'll be a 7:30 kick for that. AFC South games yesterday, Jags 24, Colts 0. Ooh. Broncos 16-9 win over the Texans. Sunday Night Football, Green Bay destroyed Chicago 27-10. And after zapping the Akron Zips on Saturday, the Tennessee Volunteers, number 11 in the AP poll, number 12 in the coaches poll, the 3-0 Vols, will host Florida on Saturday at 2:30 in a sold-out and checkered-out Neyland Stadium. For all foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your own for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show, hour number 3 on a Tennessee Titans game day edition of Ramon and Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors here in Nashville. The best producer in the world, Jonathan Schaefer, making the show happen. Many are saying, not me, but many. And 11-year NFL veteran Ramon Foster, Will Bowling here with you, or you could join us on the phone lines at 615-737-1045. Tua Tagovailoa with 2 first-half interceptions, but a big comeback win over the Ravens.
Tua Tagovailoa.
That is right.
Alabama.
The Colts suffer their 3rd shutout loss to the Jaguars in the last 5 seasons. And tonight, the Tennessee Titans. And a little bit of extra Kanye West here to start hour 3.
Well, I would say it's nothing wrong.
That is demerit.
It is what it is. Big week.
I'm okay with a little bit of extra Kanye.
And we'll get a doubleheader tonight, though, too.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Vikings and Eagles as well.
Vikings and Eagles. Vikings might actually be a solid team.
I think the Eagles might be, too.
Ooh,
that game
okay.
is a winner of that game, I think, is edging towards the top of the second-tier teams in the NFL.
NFC side, you think?
Just in the NFL.
Just in the NFL.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, by the way, we got top 7, bottom 3 tomorrow, too, then.
It's going to be a tough week.
It is.
There are a lot of teams that had leads late who I would have put in there who are now no longer going to be a top 7 NFL team.
Yep.
Looking at you, Baltimore Ravens.
Is that how you feel?
No, I thought they were really good, and then no. Yeah.
The Colts actually might be in my bottom 3 now. They're
Colts are in your bottom 3?
Colts.
Really?
Yeah, I think they
Wow.
just based off the week they had.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. That's just where I'm at. Because Jags not there. Jets not there anymore.
Bottom 3. Yeah, I mean,
on.
the Panthers are definitely a bottom 3 team.
Chicago's a bottom 3 type team.
I think, even at 1-1. Chicago, they lose last night 27-10 to the Packers.
Yeah.
Started off pretty well. Touchdown drive, lead 7-3, and then Aaron Rodgers still owns them.
By the way, Aaron Rodgers, on the running back fumble, I'm not sure who did what. But his footwork didn't look good, as if he didn't know where he was going. He's losing it on the sideline. I don't think enough people are speaking about how Aaron Rodgers seemed to be a little off this year, man. But you missed the entire offseason workout plan, and guess what happens?
It's early.
There are a lot of new players, though. So, yeah, I'm not saying he's out.
Tons of new wide receivers. Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Sammy Watkins.
A lot of moving parts, which, again, maybe he's one of those guys who's going to work through the season and get to this point. So
Sure.
It sucks, though. Either way, I'm not in on this, but it is what it is when it comes down to it.
I don't think these Packers are going to just round the corner and all of a sudden become elite like those Packers. Mm-hmm. These Packers are not those Packers, is what I'm saying at this point.
I hear you, Will.
Like, I feel like Aaron Rodgers has made a habit of coming out of the gates really slowly at the beginning of every season, being the MVP by November, and then finishing really slowly and losing a home playoff game. That's just the full Aaron Rodgers experience.
It is.
I think the experience changes a little bit this year. I don't think they have the weapons on offense to really complement him. Just like a couple years ago when Devontae Adams was hurt.
Yeah, and I don't know where the shift is to say they're going to bounce right back. You know, like
Right.
losing Tyreek this year for Kansas City is like, oh, well, they'll bounce back, you know, and they have so far. Watching what Green Bay is going through, it's almost as if they're really tied to a guy that they don't want to be. And as great as Aaron Rodgers is, I still don't know if that locker room is in with him.
Really?
As great as he is. You know, just there's a lot of off-field stuff with him. You're just like, oh, come on, Aaron. We didn't have to have that this year.
I think you want the draft pick back from Jordan Love, and you'd rather have a wide receiver that was available in that 2020 draft versus Jordan Love at this point.
Yeah. Ugh.
615-737-1045. Cuzzo Mike is on the phone lines to talk with us this morning. Hello, Mike.
Yo, what's up, fam?
What's happening?
Good morning, man. Hope the roads are nice to you today.
Mon Capone.
Yeah, okay. Well, you went through a patchy area right there. I think we lost you for a second.
Yeah. What, you know how I be out here on this road. What'd you say, though? You hope what?
I hope the roads are good to you today. The roads.
Oh, yeah. They good, man. They good. You know, they need, you know, all in my ear. I can be a little loose. I don't have to be so professional. You dig what I'm saying?
I had somebody just tell me we lost you the way the Cleveland Browns lost yesterday.
Oh, no.
Man, I want to say I'm sorry, William. I don't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Little Willie, you know. All right. Little Willie, that's what I call him.
No, he's Willie Boy. It's Willie Boy.
Nah, man, you do it. Yeah, you're growing on me though, William. You're growing on me.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, the Browns, man, Cleveland. I just want to say I don't live in Cleveland no more. Since I didn't buy my home in Cleveland, I bought it outside of Cleveland.
Smart.
Because they deserve a whole demerit for their what is it called? Their little display
debacle
that they had.
Yeah,
they little display. Yeah, their display. So on another note. We got this one cat that always be in the chat. I guess he's fam. Y'all know him real well. I'm going to call him Mac Hunchy. You know what I'm saying? How about them Colts, Zach? Huh? How about them Colts, Mac? I told you. You're in denial, boy. You're talking all of that. Who your daddy, man? It ain't y'all. Shoot, y'all matter of fact, y'all got a great grandpa at quarterback.
Y'all ain't even playing the Colts this week, Mike. You're not even playing the Colts.
I don't care, man. This is my job. Okay? So, but as far as them Titans, let's get on the real game, at hand. I ain't worried because I look at this as a win-win. For me, I'm being real selfish right now. For me, it's a win-win, okay? So y'all already know I'm real big on the embrace the underdog factor.
Yeah.
We are the underdog. They even gave us 10 points, so I'm feeling real good about that. Everybody's high on Buffalo. You know what I've been saying for, 2 years now. We go out there, we shock and all whenever they don't want to give us no respect. And even if we do lose, I highly expect that Todd Downing gets demoted or gets fired, and then somebody else steps in to maybe run the offense how the offense needs to be ran. So I'm looking at it as a win-win. It's still early in the season. We can go, but we're going to win. I ain't even going to put that bad juju out there, baby. So tighten up, ponies down. They been back there behind the shed in the hole, a black hole of despair, and they got more to go. They being launched way out there past Pluto somewhere. It's a wrap. So tighten up, baby. Let's go. All right.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey,
tighten up. Gas pedal.
Shout out to Cheese, man.
There it is. Cuzzo Mike. Wait.
Y'all not even playing the Colts.
No, Ramon. The Titans didn't win yesterday, but the Titans won yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. The Titans did not win yesterday, but in a more real sense, the Titans won yesterday.
That's the Colts.
That's right.
Hey, man, all I'm telling you is this. Titans fans are feeling really good about that Colts loss. And again.
As they should.
As somebody that thought Matt Ryan had it. It's not with him right now. It's not in him. Jonathan Taylor, again, this is like, where are you at? Like, there was a lot of talk this offseason about the coach. So I'm with you, Will. When you're right when it comes down to saying, look, the enemy of my enemy is also my friend. So what you saying, shout out to the Jags yesterday?
But what about when you're your own worst enemy? Because then you're the enemy of your enemy of your enemy.
So are you your own best friend?
It's an office quote.
Are you your own best friend then? Is that what you're saying, Will?
But, yeah, no, that's one of my favorite Dwight
comments.
Quotes.
Kick the Colts on your way out. Bleep the Colts.
F the Colts.
Colts with water guns behind them. FTC.
Colts had 10 offensive possessions in this game. They finished the game with the same amount of points as this radio show. 5 turnovers and 5 punts. Matt Ryan under pressure the entire game. Jonathan Taylor, the favorite running back in the NFL media, had more rushing attempts than yards through the first 2 quarters. Derrick Henry almost had as many rushing yards through the first half yesterday as Jonathan Taylor. 5 carries for 4.
Did he really?
5 carries for 4 yards at halftime.
Same.
He had 1 carry for every rank that NFL 100 had him in at NFL Network. Rated as the 5th ranked player in the NFL.
Oh, you just gonna dive in.
Is this your king?
You just gonna dive.
Is this your answer my question? Is this your king? NFL media? No, it's not. Matt Ryan, 5 for 13, 101 yards, and 3 interceptions on passes of 10-plus air yards.
That's like Uncle Rico status.
Yesterday. He could throw it over that mountain over there, but nobody's catching it.
Meow.
Coming up next, Amani Hooker sits down with us here on Ramon and Will. Tennessee Titans safety runs through the confidence that this defense has after consecutive victories over the Buffalo Bills and what it means to him to stay with the organization that drafted him and get paid. Titans gave him a bag. Amani Hooker coming up next on Ramon and Will, powered by all 4 seasons on 104.5 The Zone.
As leaders in disaster cleanup and restoration, the pros at ServPro are prepared for anything, like when a relief valve on your water heater fails, pouring gallons of water into your finished basement, or any electrical shortage in your office that causes extensive smoke, fire, and water damage, or that musty odor indicating you might have a mold problem. You need a lot more than help sometimes cleaning up, and that's when you contact ServPro. They have the equipment and expertise to clean up damage from fire, water, or mold, but they also offer a variety of construction services ranging from drywall patching and document drawing all the way to complete structure rebuilds. ServPro is the call to make to bring your home or business back as good as new and as soon as possible. So call the official ServPro downtown Nashville operators at 800-ServPro. See how they can help you get back to like it never even happened. ServPro, cleaning, restoration, construction, and franchises are independently owned and operated.
Allen under center. Sneaking.
No,
I don't
he
know.
did not make that.
I do not know. Let's see where they spot it.
He did not make that.
The Titans think they have stopped it. Let's wait. Allen tried to sneak. He got nothing, or so it appeared.
They got it! They got it! They did it! They did it! Yes! Not yes! Not yes! Hell yes!
Oh, and here's to hearing more of that tonight from Coach Dave McGinnis on Titans Radio. Award-winning Titans Countdown begins at 5 o'clock tonight, right after the League Company Countdown to Kickoff with 3HL here, leading you up to kickoff between the Titans and the Buffalo Bills, starting at 3 o'clock. Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors, here with you this morning. Will Bowling, Ramon Foster, and we chat with Tennessee Titans safety Amani Hooker, who gets a big-time payday from the Tennessee Titans, gets an interception in week number 1, and looks to continue this defense's success against the Bills over the past 2 seasons. First off, congratulations on the new contract. How meaningful has it been for you to get that respect from this Titans organization that drafted you?
It means a lot. I just try to do, everything I had to do to show my worth my whole time here in Tennessee. And, to see me being compensated the way that I did by the Titans just shows a lot.
When it comes down to you being able to get that and close that out before the season start, I know the stress levels went down. All right, now I can just play ball, man. But what was it like beforehand as far as you've been a young guy getting to this point, guys that's kind of helped you out as far as Bayard goes, as far as seeing guys like Wesley Woodyard be there around you? What has that journey been like for you to get to this point?
It's been an amazing journey. I know when you're a rookie, it seems like it's so far away. You see other guys getting paid. When you're a rookie, it seems like it's, like I said, far away. But in reality, you just got to chip away at your days and just keep improving and never be complacent. And I had a lot of guys, veterans around me throughout my time in Tennessee that, were successful, and I just try to mimic the good things that they did.
Tennessee Titans safety Amani Hooker with us this morning on Ramon and Will. You talk about some of the veterans that have helped you be successful. How influential has Kevin Byard been in your development since you got here in 2019?
Very influential. I mean, he's a guy that's been successful ever since I've been here. And before I even got here, he was successful. I mean, he's a guy that comes in and works hard every day. He has a standard for himself. Everyone knows, what they're getting out of Kevin every single day. And I just try to do the best I can to let my team know what they're going to get out of me every single day as well.
Man, you guys are so young in the secondary, too, the young talent that you have at the cornerback position. I'm sure it's gone by quickly ever since that first year in 2019. But what is it like now being one of those veterans? How many conversations have you had with some of these young corners to help bring them along in the way that Kevin Byard helped you?
I have conversations every day. Every day, something comes up, whether it's within the car, whether it's how they're feeling, whether it's something that they got going on at home. I just try to feel like I should be open and be personal with these guys so that they're comfortable. Because just for me being a rookie, I remember that I always had all this high expectations for myself. So our anxiety was pretty high. So I just want them to make sure that they're calm, cool, and collected.
Speaking of anxiety, man, you guys have Monday Night Football coming up in Buffalo. Do you still get excited for these types of games? These prime times, these, against these potential MVP type quarterbacks week in and week out on Monday Night Football. Everybody thinks about those.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a game you want to play in. This is a game, when you're younger and you grow up and you watching the ball on TV, it's the night games that are the ones that you dream about playing in. And being able to play in those definitely against a great quarterback and a great team, it's a great opportunity, to showcase what we have as a team and to showcase your abilities.
Tennessee Titans safety Amani Hooker with us this morning on Ramon and Will. KB was talking earlier this week about how much you guys love being the underdog and hunting the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, teams you've had a lot of success against in the regular season. What about the personality of this team makes you guys so good in these environments, especially coming off a loss in a game like this?
I think our work ethic, our ability to be coachable, understand that, where we didn't play good at the first game, if we did end up losing, being able to correct it so that the next game, whoever we play, you know, we're coming out fire and we limit those mistakes. And then we're the team that's going to fight. You know, we're going to fight to the end.
When it comes down to the guys you'll end up facing, you know, they have a three-headed monster, I guess you would say, as far as their skill guys go, with Stephon Diggs, with also Dawson Knox being one of those guys, and Gabe Davis, man. Being able to talk to the young guys, and you know Christian Fulton to handle his own, but being able to talk to Roger and you guys being able to support him, what's the plan around being able to say, here we go to go get this win on the road?
Just be yourself. You know, trust your preparation all week. Believe in your abilities. You wouldn't be out there if, you know, the coaches didn't think you can handle, you know, every receiver that's put out there. So make sure that, you know, they just believe in their abilities and believe in their preparation, and then just when it comes down to the game day, let it loose and don't think.
One thing in particular, though, as far as being a defensive player in this league, going after the quarterback. Josh Allen is a guy that runs the ball down the field. Where and do you pick and choose how you hit him when he's actually got the ball in his hand?
You know, he's a runner. I mean, he's a big guy. He doesn't slide too often like other quarterbacks do. They use him in the run game. It just depends on, you know, what angle you're coming in at. You know, if you come in on the side, he's gonna try and stiff arm you. You know, if you're coming in straight up, he might try to jump over you, or he might try to truck you. So you just got to treat him like a running back. And if he slides late, you know, just put your hands out in front and avoid the head or neck area.
Titan safety Amani Hooker with us this morning on 104.5 The Zone. You guys have won 2 straight over Buffalo, and you've played Buffalo every single year that you've been a Tennessee Titan. Do you feel like this has become a little bit of a rivalry game? How much confidence do you take away from the way you guys were able to beat this team last year?
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. I mean, every year I've seen them, so it definitely feels like a game that's been like a yearly game. And, you know, last year's game was last year's game. Like, you know, they came out there and they beat the Super Bowl champs last week. And, you know, we came out and we lost to the Giants week 1. So it's a whole different year. It's a whole different mindset that we have to have an approach on going into the game. And I think when the game comes, you know, we're going to be ready to go.
Amani, a lot of questions were, you know, brought to the forefront when Harold Landry went out, man. Internally, how did you guys process that? What was the conversation around guys being able to fill that position? And did you guys even on the back end feel like you had to step up because you were missing a guy like Harold?
I mean, yeah, anytime a guy like Harold goes down, a player like Harold goes down, you know, it sucks. I mean, he's a guy that is, you know, a great player, but also a great teammate. And, you know, it's just next guy in mentality. I know that Weave and Ola, you know, they're going to step in that role and be productive like Weave was last game. I mean, he had a sack, he had a couple TFLs, and, you know, it's just next man in mentality.
Absolutely right. Tennessee Titans safety Amani Hooker has been our guest this morning on 104.5 The Zone. Man, congrats again on the new contract. Best of luck on Monday night, and let's do it again soon.
Absolutely.
Yep, thank you so much. Appreciate it. You guys have a good day.
So there is Tennessee Titans safety Amani Hooker and our conversation with him from Friday morning show. And one thing to clarify out of that conversation, obviously that was before we had the updated injury report for the Titans coming up this Monday night football edition in Buffalo. There will be no Christian Fulton tonight in Buffalo, Ramon. So the job of that man, Amani Hooker, becomes that much more important.
It does. Because he's essentially dealing with 2 young guys still. Yep. Caleb has a year under his belt, but Caleb didn't play much last year. Roger McCreary, true rookie. Same way we talk about Vaughn, it's the same way we got to talk about Stephon Diggs as far as him being one of those game breaker types of guys. Now, all of this can be shut down, Will. You want to know how?
What's that?
Getting to Josh Allen.
Big Jeff. A very large Jeff.
Come on. Exactly.
That's right.
Not just that. He's going up against a very familiar foe tonight. That's Roger Saffold.
That's right.
Being able to get after him is going to be huge, man. I say get after Raj because that's what Big Jeff is paid to do, is go at him. And going at him means getting pressure. Going up against a guy that you saw every single day in practice lends itself to some of the stuff that you can get away with them. Now, again, we know Roger Saffold also. We know he's a fighter. We know he's the guy that's going to return that same energy. But you got to think to yourself, he's probably thinking about all the times, everybody on that defensive line is thinking about all the times they went up against Raj and his tendencies and watching film and watching what other guys going to do against him too. I said, earlier, Deion Dawkins, their left tackle, is a solid guy. We know Roger at left. Mitch Morse is a solid center up the middle. Again, I don't know if I call him undersized. I don't know if I call him, appropriate for where he plays at, but I'd almost expect Tierra Tart to try to run through his face as much as he possibly can, because that's what centers' jobs are. They snap the ball and be very athletic. That's Mitch. Now, when it comes to this type of defense that the Titans front line play, they're penetrators. They get upfield. They try to, tackling the running back on the way to the quarterback. That's what they've shown in week 1. That's kind of been their mentality since I've been covering this. They're going to get upfield. Now, it comes down to who's going to be able to contain Josh Allen in those passing type of situations too.
Going to be interesting to see the way the Saffold-Simmons battle shakes out. Did you ever have to play a defensive lineman in your career who you had practiced with for years prior?
Somebody I practiced against no, not like this. No.
But in just talking to guys and going through that process, how do you change or adjust what you do at all in order to confuse somebody that has seen every move that you've got in practice?
Go right at them.
Okay.
I think initially, if that was me going up against, if I'm Jeff and I'm going up against an offensive lineman, that's the advantage that you have. You can shock and awe him. All right, I'm just going to punch you in the mouth first play. Offensive line, you got to be a little bit more controlled chaos when it comes down to what you're going to do and how you're going to find ways to abuse a guy. Like Saffo going at Jeff is not going to be the same as Jeff going at Saffo or him going at the offensive line. Jeff can legitimately come off, hit somebody just to say, all right, this is the tone we're setting for the game.
Sure.
And because defenses is controlled chaos in a sense, right? They can make mistakes and get covered up by the back end of the defense. That's what you're asking for. But to be this familiar with an opponent that you've had on your team, I hadn't personally been through this, Will, but me knowing Jeff, I'd almost say to myself, he's going to at least grab the hands or work the shoulder that he knows was a little bit hurt or the ankle that he had issues with. That's just – and all of that is one player of 11.
Right.
So you can't circle in on just Saffo like that when it comes down to when you ask yourself, okay, well, what does Saffo know about this team? Like, there's certain keywords you can pick up on that I'm sure it hadn't changed from last year to this year. There's not much that Roger can specifically tell his offense, hey, when the Titans do this is what you do, because the truth of the matter is, other than quarterbacks, probably when it comes down to, scheming up or who knows our secrets, it's usually just the quarterbacks, because you have so much stuff going on around your own position. You don't have time to be focused in on, let me know what the quarterback is doing on this play. Keywords is always critical, but almost everybody know your keywords. Or if I say, hey, Ringo on a run play, what does that probably tell you as somebody that's listening to me on the defensive side of the ball?
They're going right.
They're going right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or even pass protection. Hey, they're sliding right. They're running right. Something is it's so much going on that it's so hard for you to just switch up your calls on a play. Like if I said Ringo, we're going to flip calls this week. Hey, guys, we got Ringo and Liz. If I say Ringo, we're sliding left. Like, you know how many confused individuals will be out there trying to flip calls?
Right.
You can't. Your calls are your calls. It's up on the guys on the other side to stop it, So you continue what you do well.
No doubt about it. And I feel like that's what made Peyton Manning the guy that he was in the NFL. Like, you talk to defenders and guys who played Peyton in the NFL, one word, he would say something, it would mean one route in the first half.
Yep.
Then he'd go into halftime and say, all right, we're going to switch this up. And like quarter to quarter, like the same word would mean 3 or 4 different things over the context of an entire football game.
Is that true?
Yes. Oh, no, 100%. Like that story has been told that like he would say different words that like calls would change quarter by quarter.
Wow.
With Peyton Manning. That's not normal.
That is interesting. No, that's not normal.
Right.
You know how much you have to be on the same page?
Oh, yeah.
Like, there will be certain, like, we have a sect of our code words that we had that was just straight dummy plays.
Right.
Like, we would use those often and try to rotate those in, but not just like that, though. Like, the same name means a different play. That's asking a lot, Will. And I guess that's why he was a sheriff, though. He created his own laws, right?
I always felt jealous of y'all because y'all had like these cool names. Like you get numbers and I go to practice. It's like, hey, just run fast. All right, hey, our strategy right now, just continue running fast, please.
Just give it to
Hey,
them.
mile left. Will, hey, can you keep running fast?
Pace yourself.
Okay, thanks. Hey, final 800. Hey, you know what I want you to do? I want you to run fast.
If y'all didn't know, Will Bowling was it the cross country runner?
Cross country and track at Tennessee.
So there was
For a brief time.
There was no real code words for y'all.
There were a couple in high school and in college. Just like different things that we did.
Was it for like elbowing somebody?
I did do a lot of that.
So that's just a part of running.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we've actually got some of their code words.
You do?
Probably too slow.
There it is. We were talking about you. It's true.
I didn't expect that. Shafe? Go. I got nothing. I was about to go off. That's it.
I think the comment that came to your head first was not FCC compliant. So I want to appreciate you.
It wasn't. It was not. Okay. And because I like this job, I will not use those words. Right?
Goodness.
This
oh
freaking
my
clown.
gosh. But yeah, tonight should be a good matchup though.
I think so too. 615-737-1045. Josh is in Franklin, Kentucky this morning. Hello, Josh. How
Good
are
morning,
you?
Josh.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I just called to bring some comfort to Titans fans. I think I've found a pattern in the NFL, and I've made some predictions this year, and I've gotten them all right on upsets, and the Titans are my pick. But here's some patterns that I've thought about with the Titans. Think about this. Last year, we lost to a New York team, and one of the worst teams in the NFL, as I remember, the New York Jets. But we turned around and beat two of the best teams in the NFL with Buffalo and the Rams. So think about that, Titans fans. And also this year, it's been, in my predictions, I've seen a pattern, and I went ahead and made the prediction, even though we were 10-point underdogs at one point, that not only would we cover the spread, we will actually win the game.
Okay.
Thank you, Josh. Calling your shot.
Calling a shot.
It's just a dangerous way to live, man. It's a dangerous way to live.
As far as the
losing to
concept.
bad teams and having to beat the elite teams. And this is the elite team in the National Football League right now.
Right, and they've had, what 3 days on you as far as them playing on Thursday nights?
Yep.
Whew.
Yep.
What's the line again, Will, on this one?
10 points.
10 points?
Yep.
Sheesh.
I do like Titans plus 10.
You
I
do.
do. Yeah.
You do. Okay.
Yeah, that's a big spread for a team that has won 2 straight over Buffalo and was the 1 seed in the AFC last year.
Okay.
As bad as they looked over week number 1. Coming up, we continue to preview Tennessee Titans and Buffalo Bills. Let's give you a little bit of a betting guide to this game because the Buffalo Bills have fared well in games where they are favored by double digits since 2016. We'll tell you exactly what their record is in games like that. Coming up next, Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons on 104.5 The Zone.
Something awesome is happening at Genesis Diamonds. This Friday through Sunday, it's a 3-day designer engagement ring event showcasing the world's top 2 brands in bridal jewelry, Tacori and Veragio. Tacori from California and Veragio from New York. Both here with their entire lines, including all new rings for this special event. You can explore hundreds of exquisite American-made designer rings. Plus, Genesis will have special incentives, 0 interest financing, and up to $5,000 in instant savings. In addition, Genesis has expanded selections of GIA-certified diamonds for this 3-day event. All shapes, all sizes, rock-bottom prices. This is the best of the best. Every Tacori ring is handcrafted by master artisans with exceptional quality, and every Veragio ring is made by hand with unmatched attention to detail. These are the brands that other jewelers only wish they could offer, but at Genesis, they have the entire Tacori and Veragio collections, and they'll be all on display this weekend. Don't miss the bridal jewelry event of the year, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Genesis Diamonds in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
It's Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons on 104.5 The Zone. Titans and Bills coming up tonight on Monday Night Football, and we have got a chance for you to make a little bit of money here, Bone Foster.
Talk about it, Will.
I'm going to give you a will win parlay because my name is Will and it will win. And if this works, maybe we do this as a recurring segment. And if it doesn't, maybe it's the won't win parlay.
That's why I was just going to say you're not going to go with the name that I wanted to go with, right?
What's that?
Will win. Will win.
Will win.
Yeah. Will win.
Question mark.
Willie win.
It's a lot of wills.
That's the point.
It's a lot of ways.
That's how we feel daily dealing with you, Will.
It's funny. You guys just going to gloss over my hilarious joke.
Wasn't that funny?
It's funnier than you acted.
I didn't realize that was a joke there.
I had a okay.
Damn sure ain't cute.
All right. So tonight, Tennessee Titans and Buffalo Bills. 3-leg parlay.
Okay.
Plus 900.
Ooh. So what does that mean? You get $900?
No.
Oh.
It means that you get it's 5 to win 50.
Oh, okay.
10 to win
cool.
$100.
All right, I'm with that.
I've got Titans covering plus 14.5. You get a good number there. You cover the 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Over 37.5 points in this game. And a Ryan Tannehill rushing touchdown are the 3 things that I'm going to bet. Ryan Tannehill in his last 2 games against the Buffalo Bills has 2 rushing touchdowns. In the 2020 game on Tuesday Night Football, he had 4 carries for 42 yards and a rushing touchdown. And then against Buffalo last year, he had the touchdown and the finger roll down by the goal line.
Sure did.
So that is my parlay for the Titans tonight.
Say it again.
Titans to cover 14.5 plus 14.5, over 37.5, and a Ryan Tannehill rushing touchdown. That is what I'm riding tonight.
All right. I'm with it, Will.
I think there's always good value in anything regarding Ryan Tannehill rushing because I feel like that number is always low. I bet it in week 1 it didn't hit, but his rushing over-under is always about 11 or 12 yards.
Yeah.
If the Titans are going well, usually it means Ryan Tannehill is rushing for about 20 to 30 yards.
Right.
And getting outside the pocket.
I'm a fan of Ryan Tannehill running safely.
Yeah.
Have been saying it for a while, and he does it well. He did it, I thought, really good in the Giants game, and I think it'll be necessary here because the communication factor of the Bills stadium, I think, is going to play a huge part. That is, and I know mostly all NFL stadiums are rowdy and loud, but let's face it here. You're going on the road to Buffalo. Is this their home opener? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Their home opener, Monday Night Football. That crowd thinks they're good. That team think they are good. Most of America think they are good. And guess what? Managing that noise, communicating, especially with the guys up front and with your wide receivers, may actually lead to Tannehill escaping the pocket. And he's a heck of an athlete when it comes down to it. I also saw a clip this weekend. My wife sent it to me about Josh Allen. There's a picture of him running his 40 at the combine, and he looks like Mose off of The Office.
Oh,
you
really?
remember Mose running with his arm dragging?
His arms like straight. like he's a Dragon Ball Z character with his arms just going straight back and just forward.
As good of an athlete that Josh Allen is, he runs like Mose from The Office. But Tannehill being able to move the pocket with his legs or move the ball with his legs, I think would be huge tonight. So I'm with you on the Tannehill running touchdown.
The injury report for the Titans tonight is not great.
Yeah.
Christian Fulton ruled out over the weekend. Dontrell Hilliard is out. So I think without your receiving running back, it might open up more opportunities instead of a check down option for Ryan Tannehill to just tuck it and run it.
Yep.
I would rather see him do that, and I think there's probably more breakdowns that you're going to get in pass blocking with Hassan Haskins picking up a lot of those reps versus Dontrell Hilliard.
And I'll say this too, with the way we've kind of seen, Aaron Brewer kind of give up a little pressure up the middle. If Jordan Phillips is the guy that's going to line up on him for the most part, this is going to be a situation in which Vaughn is probably around the edge and Jordan Phillips get pushed around, and that's where the step-up value and Tannehill being able to navigate and slide.
Yeah.
I'm telling him to run while also saying, be safe, little dog.
That's what I was telling Amani Hooker over the weekend, too.
Did you see those hits that
Yeah, we haven't
Akron
talked
was
about that yet.
Am I the only one that thought they were a little cheap?
Josh Heupel said post game that it was one of the chippiest games he's ever been a part of.
For what?
And then the Akron quarterback DJ Irons had to be separated from Tennessee players after the game because he was jawing.
What position does he play?
Quarterback.
The quarterback.
The quarterback. Yeah, he was trying to be like Tom Brady over the weekend.
Well,
Tom
he's a
Brady. That's the one
Shave.
thing that the Akron quarterback and Tom Brady have in common is they had to be separated from jawing against defensive players over the weekend.
Dude, you understand? People will blast your face off as far as on the football field. Okay, like you can't be the quarterback talking like this.
Yeah, that's right. You got to set the example.
Jeez.
Set the example. That's right.
I got to stop being so violent on this show too. I've said a lot of violent things.
You have said a lot of violent things.
I
recently.
have, man. I got to bring that in. Son. You're right.
Is everything okay?
By the way, yeah, no.
Why
By
do
the
you
way,
gotta bring it in.
Well,
This is who you actually are.
I
Jonathan Schaefer.
am, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to fight this. By the way, shout out to my boys, man. Both of them had walk-offs this past weekend.
That's right.
What great showings for them.
The boys.
Miles hit a home run, a walk-off home run, and sent them to the championship game. RJ in the second game on Saturday, man, had a walk-off single for them to win, man. Super cool. That'd be the most I talk about them.
Yeah.
Keep working.
You can't talk
love
about
it.
choose violence and then not be violent.
I know. And then I try to bring my kids in to smooth it over.
I saw what you were doing.
Using
I
them.
wasn't letting you have that.
I'm a suckish host right now. That's what's happening, right? Don't save that. Somebody might believe.
Oh,
me.
he's 100% going to save that.
I had a good weekend. though.
8:54 a.m. Jonathan Schaefer's where you can
Why
save
would
the
you-
audio.
There were people talking over it. I won't be able to save that one.
Yes. Thank you, Will.
That's good to know.
Your people.
I got the one where
I'm
you were
people.
saying that you roll with Kentucky, though. I got that one.
Yeah, you did,
Yeah,
man.
I got it. I got it.
That makes
Save
one
that
person on the station.
We'll save that for Wes later in the season.
Okay.
You're better than this.
Coming up, hour number. Yeah, you're not.
Four's up.
Four's up, ladies and gentlemen. The fourth quarter of the show. And when we come back, we continue the Tennessee Titans and Buffalo Bills preview. Mr. Monday Night is on deck at 9:20. Keith Bulluck. Lots more still to discuss. 60 more minutes to do it. Come on back. Final hour after this on 104.5 The Zone.
Drink my beers.
When it comes to the cost of things, there aren't a lot of guarantees these days, especially when you have to wonder what interest rates will be in the future. You almost need a crystal ball. But my friends at Two Rivers 4 are making things easy because they are offering guarantees like great prices and a locked-in interest rate when you custom order a 2023 model year Ford. Right now, when you custom order an F-150, an Explorer, Ranger, Edge, Bronco Sport, Escape, or Mustang, they'll guarantee you 2.9% APR for 60 months for all qualified buyers. So you can order now and lock in a great rate for whenever you start paying. That's the peace of mind you need. Plus, Two Rivers 4 will give you $500 bonus cash on top of the already low prices. So let's recap a little bit. At Two Rivers 4, you can custom order any new non-specialty Ford below MSRP, get $500 bonus cash, and lock in your interest rate. What will they do next? Give you a free oil change or something? Well, yes, they will. Two Rivers 4 always gives a complimentary works package oil change whenever you purchase a vehicle. The best prices and guaranteed rates, all at a locally owned dealership with non-commissioned salespeople. It's like the good old days are still here at Two Rivers Ford. So custom order your next Ford from Two Rivers Ford.
9:02 from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Jonathan Schaefer. Titans traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills for Monday Night Football. Titans looking to bounce back from a disappointing 21-20 Week 1 loss to the New York Giants. Meanwhile, the Bills blasted the Rams 31-10 in Los Angeles in the league's season opener 2 Thursdays ago. Big matchup going up against the Bills quarterback Josh Allen. Amani Hooker told Ramon and Will what you have to try to do to bring him down.
It just depends on what angle you're coming in at. If you come in on the side, he's going to try and stiff arm you. If you're coming in straight up, he might try to jump over you, or he might try to truck you. So he's got to treat him like a running back. If he slides late, just put your hands out in front and avoid the head or neck area.
Kickoff set for 6:15 tonight. Mike Keith, Dave McGinnis with the call on Titans Radio. Christian Fulton, also Dontrell Hilliard, Jamarco Jones ruled out for tonight's game. The other Monday Night Football game this evening, Minnesota at Philadelphia, 7:30 the start for that. AFC South action yesterday. The Jags shut out the Colts 24-0. We enjoyed that. And the Broncos defeated the Texans 16-9. Sunday Night Football, Green Bay 27, Chicago 10. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Fourth and final hour, fourth quarter of the show on a Tennessee Victory Monday and a Tennessee Titans game day. Here on 104.5 The Zone. Tennessee and Florida week. Lots to talk about with that as the week continues. But today, we are all Titans all the time with Mr. Monday Night, Keith Bulluck, joining us in just about 15 minutes. The best producer in the world, Jonathan Schaefer, makes the show happen. 11-year NFL veteran and Vol for life, Ramon Foster. My name is Will Bowling, where you can join us at 615-737-1045. If you blinked, I apologize for how much of the show that you missed this morning. It has gone by quickly.
Fast. I'm talking about fast, and not like Mark Sanchez said on Saturday.
Oh,
okay?
No.
Not going that route, Mark. First the butt fumble, now this.
Do less.
Come on, dog.
Mark Sanchez with a line describing a fast run that I'm not even going to quote it.
Don't, Will. It's okay to just be quiet.
Color commentators, do less.
And all it is. They've become stars themselves.
Do so much less.
They've become stars themselves, Will. And when you see a guy like Romo and then Aikman and then Buck and just...
Oh, Jim, here we go, Jim. The Cowboys and Cooper Rush, Jim. They were going to win it. That was him yesterday.
Well, Will, I guess you got to do something.
It's not just Charles Davis who I can do an impression of.
But
Jonathan Schaefer's kind of shook right now.
The point is, every single one of them are doing something to get that $20 million a year.
They're doing too much.
Do you blame them?
Yes. I absolutely blame them.
Doggone right, I blame
Robert
them.
Griffin III and Mark Sanchez don't need to be trying to start their stand-up comedy careers as color commentators.
Hey man, just call the game, right?
It is so annoying.
Well, a lot of people were on Mike, you don't want to know what Sanchez said.
He was comparing.
It wasn't bad.
He basically said, that run was as fast as a teenager going to erase his search history. Buddy, we're not you got the whole squad laughing there, bud.
Tell us about
nobody thinks
that's what he
really
said right there. It was quicker than a teenager erasing his search history.
Mark Sanchez, you're not that guy. I just don't know why color commentators feel like they need to do that.
Because they're quarterbacks right now. Look at them. They're quarterbacks. And each one of them, I told you, didn't I tell you, most quarterbacks are very finicky people, man. They are.
Spoken like an offensive
They are. They're in the whole world by themselves, man. Just simply because, they're usually the top of the team when it comes to their positioning, right?
Right.
And then they never think their time is ever done and over with. And even if they have a bad game, it's not as worse as somebody else having a bad game. So, who do we have on TV right now? Kurt Warner, Tony Romo,
as far as
Troy
quarterbacks go?
Aikman. RG3.
What do you ask?
Sanchez.
Just what quarterbacks
how
or color
all
guys?
of them are positioning themselves.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is added to that list now. Greg Olson is the newest color guy.
Greg McElroy for the SEC Network, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
quarterbacks can explain more positions than any other player on the field. Because quarterbacks have to read every single position on the field to know where to go with the football.
They're all positioning right now. That's all.
Of course.
It is. I mean, and you know what? I don't even blame him. Tom Brady's next up. $230 million.
He's going to be really good at that.
You think
he's
so?
going to be really, really good at that.
I just want to hear some of his New England snarkiness.
Because he's become a lot more likable over the end of his career and going to Tampa, and the evolution he's had over the course of his career from being, kind of certainly an underdog quarterback with Bill Belichick to being the villain to now being like a kind of a liked personality is not something I expected in his career.
That's right, Derek. Speaking of Sanchez thing, there go the bots in the chat.
Oh, that's right. Always.
He probably clicked those links, didn't he?
1045 The Zone TV is where you can hang out with us on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitter if you want to join a chat that has been very active today. Lots of Titans fans betting Titans money line today.
I know.
Feeling good?
Feeling real good, man. Nothing better than Monday night, man. I used to get up for these, Will, because there's nothing else on TV. Well, now they put 2 on Monday night, but
well, you guys won a lot on Monday night.
On Monday, that's where you remember. That's where Bulluck, right? You want to
Mr.
become
Monday
a star?
Night, yeah. 3 interceptions.
You
Shout
become
out
a
Drew
star.
Brees. That's
You
right.
go there. James Harrison. You want to become a star, you do it on primetime games, man. And
Kevin Byard dancing on the star in Dallas.
Come on. Like
Titans are 8-2 in primetime under Mike Vrabel.
Are you saying that's where your money is?
8-2.
Come on now, Will. Let it be known, man.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. 615-737-1045. Gator Mike, one of our favorites. This is a fun week to talk with Gator Mike.
It's a fun week.
Good morning, Gator Mike. How are you?
Game week, fellas. It's game week.
How are you?
Call in on a Monday.
Yeah, I may call every day.
Please do.
It's a good game.
All right, Gator Mike, to start the week, Mike, before you start, I want to know by the beginning of this week, and then we're going to talk to you at least one more time this week, by the end of this week. I want to before and then after the week of what your confidence level is for Florida right now on a scale of 1 to 10.
Where are you at?
Your Monday confidence level is what today, Mike?
I'm at like a 5 or 6.
Okay,
that's fair.
We're gonna do a science experiment to see how much that number moves over the course of the week.
I mean, the main thing going is like Anthony Richardson the past 2 weeks has looked like Joe Milton. No
Sure.
offense.
No, I said that earlier in the show too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a mental thing with him. That's what he said 2 weeks ago, but they'll get it figured out. I mean, the main thing they got to do is keep Tennessee's offense off the field, and if they can get that running game going, which is about the only positive right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Johnson, and ETN looks. I mean, he's solid for a freshman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can keep that running game and keep Tennessee's offense off the field, I feel pretty good. Defense, it depends what happens with Ventrell Miller. Obviously, you could see his loss last week because our linebackers could not stop the run once they got to that second level, and Ramon knows that. There's nothing an offensive lineman loves more than when he gets to that second level and there ain't nobody there,
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm about a 5 or 6. It just depends. But, Will, with the history of this thing, I saw that 10-9 game, right? Like, I mean, who would have thought?
I was there.
Just 3 field goals.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, Treon Harris, one of the worst quarterbacks ever in Florida, gets that late touchdown to win 10-9. So, there's so many times that either Florida should have won or Tennessee should have won. So, I mean, it's going to be electric. That's the one thing I'm excited about. And, we'll just see how it is. But I did have a question.
Okay.
So, Ramon, what was your record against Florida?
1-4.
And Will, in your time at UT, what was your record?
My record is 1-3 in my time at Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at the second Hill. I was at the Hail Mary game in Gainesville as well. Unfortunately.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I was down on that one. And if you remember, Will, it was like Florida was up by like 7 or 10 late in the fourth quarter on that thing, and then Tennessee scored 2 quick scores, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, we're going to lose this game. But
John Kelly had a good game in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, had a great game. Yeah. I just think it's going to be interesting. And thank you for bringing up Robert Griffin III. He is the worst one to me. I told a buddy this weekend, I'd rather listen to Beth Mallins call football games than hear Robert Griffin on call. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. It's bad, Mike. It's very bad. Thank you for the call, Mike. We'll check in with you later this week.
Very sensible call, Mike.
Of course.
All right, take care, fellas.
Mike is the best Florida fan we have around.
Well, it's sensible for Monday. Wait until the end of the week. We'll be much more belligerent.
So they're just like us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah. No, RG3 and some of the stuff he said the past couple weeks just like trying to make jokes and look. I mean, he's excited. He's a charismatic guy. There are a lot of people that love him. I don't care for a color commentator to steal the show. I'm there for the football, not the broadcast.
So, Will, what did Tony Romo say yesterday?
What do you mean? You want me to do the impression again? Oh, Jim, here we go. Cooper Rush, Jim. Oh, he's going to win it for the Cowboys. Oh, what a game. Jerry Jones, there he is. That was what Tony Romo said yesterday. Scale of 1 to 10, Jonathan Schaefer. Please grade my performance.
Oh, I think it's about a 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm giving about 7.5.
I don't like the tone,
7.
but I like the cadence. The cadence is what's good.
It's the cadence that gets it, right?
Usually.
That's more the playoff tone for Tony. Like when Evan McPherson hit the field goal to beat the Chiefs, like that was like the pitch that he
See,
had.
what I liked is that the longer you were talking, the higher pitch it got as if he was winding up to it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it always is. 100%.
No doubt about it. Chef, you tell him your office hours are from 9 to 5, man.
Is that your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're making sure that Buck Rising's connected from Buffalo.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. I wanted Buck go get wings this weekend.
He did post a picture yesterday because anytime that he eats solid food, he has to tell the world on Twitter. He has to take a picture of it and tell the universe.
What's wrong with you, man?
So much. His goal is now 200 by Super Bowl.
He can't even be here to see you in person.
I have to get the shots in at Buck when he isn't here to respond.
That's how one bully works, right?
That's how it works, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Coming up next, Mr. Monday Night, Keith Bulluck will join the show. We will get his thoughts on what the Tennessee Titans have to do tonight in order to get the win over Buffalo, and how the inside linebackers fit the run more efficiently than they did against New York. We'll get his thoughts on that coming up next. A New York native, the Tennessee Titans own Keith Bulluck, next on 104.5 The Zone. Hey, it's Will Bowling here for Brentwood Hearing Center, the hearing care provider in Middle Tennessee for 40 years. It's so easy to put off your hearing challenges, and it's hard to know if you've got an issue and need to get it checked. Brentwood Hearing Center is going to make that very easy for you. Maybe friends and family members are getting frustrated because you're asking them to repeat themselves, Maybe you're having trouble hearing the person across from you at dinner in a crowded restaurant. Those are just a couple of the signs that you may benefit from hearing aids. And Brentwood Hearing Center offers the most advanced technology on the market. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to get to know you. They're going to pinpoint the places where you're having the most trouble hearing, and they're going to offer an individualized solution that is perfect for you. And this technology can connect via Bluetooth to your phone, your television. It's like always having a pair of Bluetooth headphones on to hear anything you're watching or listening to. Give them a call at 615-377-0420. They've got 5 doctors of audiology with more than 80 years of combined experience. Give them a call today, 615-377-0420. Their website is great as well, BrentwoodHearingCenter.com. Brentwood Hearing Center, better hearing, better life. It's Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors on 104.5 The Zone. Hanging out with you this morning. Buck Rising live from Buffalo up next. Will Bowling and Moan Foster, Jonathan Schaefer, our producer here this morning as we preview Tennessee Titans and Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football. And we are joined on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline by Mr. Monday Night, Keith Bulluck. Good morning, Cable. How are you?
I'm doing great. How y'all doing this beautiful Monday morning?
Man, we're good. Are you in Buffalo this morning?
No, I'm in South Florida. Better weather.
Much better weather.
I don't travel with the team.
Well, Keith, that's much better weather, but still the same amount of New Yorkers down there in South Florida.
Yeah. You know what? You're actually right. It's about getting that time for them snowbirds to start heading down here.
It is. Man, Keith was like, nah, I don't travel with the team. When you get a name like Mr. Monday Night, you got to get something.
If there was any time to bring them with you, bring you with them, Keith, it's tonight on Monday Night Football.
Hey, yeah, it would have been cool to make the trip, but I wouldn't have been able to make no plays for them. Unfortunately, them days are over. But yeah, man, Monday Night Football, that's as a kid, that's what you dream of playing. I remember I always wanted to win a horse trailer. Back in the day, they used to have the horse trailer for the player that played the best on Monday Night Football. John Madden used to give the horse trailer. And by the time I started playing, John Madden wasn't on the tube anymore. So, I didn't get too many opportunities early in my career. Well, I did early, but then there was a lull. We weren't too good. And then the reporter, we were playing the Saints. Before the Saints game, I was like, man, I'm Mr. Monday Night. Because I make plays. I make plays all the time, but on Monday you gotta make plays if you consider yourself a playmaker. So the stars shine bright on Monday night.
They do.
They sure do. Keith Bulluck hanging out with us this morning on Ramon and Wills. So, Keith, who is that guy who needs to step up and be the primetime performer tonight for the Titans in order for them to get back in the win column?
Well, I mean, obviously the Titans start with Derrick Henry. It starts with Derrick Henry. And obviously, in order for Derrick Henry to get going, he needs the O-line to create and open those holes for him. So I put Derrick Henry and the offensive line. I think the offensive line played well last week. They didn't play, obviously they protected great. You'd like to see a little bit more happen in the run game, and that's predicated on call, on the running back hitting the hole, like a whole bunch of different things go into the run game. But I know that Buffalo has had a tough time against the Titans when that O-line and Derrick Henry are running on all cylinders.
Well, speaking of the offensive side of the ball, then, Keith, I have to ask you because, again, you're Mr. Monday Night. You gained that name. You earned that name. But there's a guy by the name of Von Miller, man. How do you – yeah, okay, see, there we go. How do you, as a defensive player, man, just categorize this guy? Speak on him, and I guess the challenge it is tonight, being the defender yourself.
Yeah, Von's going to bring it, man. Von Miller, he's a future Hall of Famer. We obviously know the work that he's done at Denver. He won a Super Bowl at Denver, went to the Rams, won a Super Bowl at the Rams. Everybody thinks that, he's washed up. He was still playing at a very, very, very high level last year. Last week in against his former team, the Rams, he had 2 sacks, so he has not showed any signs of slowing up. The Titans have a rookie right tackle, so I believe there'll be some chipping, keeping the tight end. They're going to have to really protect. I don't think it's fair to ask your rookie right tackle to block Von Miller one-on-one too much tonight.
And that's a part of the game also, Keith, that's kind of changed. Like when I remember early in the league, if you were rushed over the left tackle, you stayed that way. Nowadays, teams have had to start finding better right tackles because these types of rushers, they rush on both sides of the ball now. Is that something that you thought you'd see, considering they always paid the DN to go over the left tackle like this?
Well, I mean, look, I think smart defensive, offensive coordinators, they evolve the game. So in this situation, if you have a guy that, like for myself, I only played right outside linebacker.
Yeah.
So the quarterback comes, he's always going to know where I am. Whereas if you saw Dallas Cowboys last year, Micah Parsons was all over the place. Like you could take somebody like that and move them all over the place. So I agree with you, Ramon. If you're able to move a guy and he's interchangeable on the line, if you can stand him up, like you're going to drive the offensive coordinator and those old linemen and the quarterback crazy trying to find him, and you have a better chance of having some types of breakdowns just because communication with the O-line or the tight end or the running back doesn't step up and make his block. So it puts a lot more on the offensive pass protection when you have those type of freaky athletes, defensive end, outside linebackers that you can stand up, put their hand in the dirt, line them up anywhere on the field. It's really challenging.
Mm-hmm. Keith Bulluck with us here this morning on Ramon and Will. Keith, the 200-plus yards the Titans give up on the ground last week to the New York Giants. What do you need to see differently from the Titans' inside linebackers tonight in order to be more effective against the run than they were last week?
Physicality.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, physicality at the point of attack. I feel last week against the Giants, the linebackers were playing too lateral, not coming downhill, not attacking, not being physical at the point of attack. I think the Giants' offensive line was the more physical. They were more physical when they got to the second level last week, because obviously Big Jeff was blowing up everything that was on his side. But when they got to the second level and got to those linebackers, it just kind of, Ramon, you know how you just have to kind of push. Sometimes they're going to go where you want them to go, and that's what the Titans linebackers were doing a lot last week, not being solid and firm on blocks. Like, those offensive linemen are big guys, but look, we all work out and all that, and all you need is to stone them for a second or make them stop their feet. But if you got them big guys got you on them train tracks, it's going to be a long day, and that's what it was last week.
Keith, how difficult is it to play the inside linebacker position behind a guy like Jeffrey Simmons, who gets so far upfield and does create a big space when the offense is running the football? Does it make it harder on you as an inside linebacker against the run when your inside defensive linemen are getting so deep in their rush?
No. To tell you,
okay.
So there's some story behind this. So
sure.
When I first got in starting with the Titans, I was at my first 3 years, I was averaging 180 tackles.
Ooh.
And then one year I had like 101 when the season's over. And I'm like, man, I'm a scrub. Like, what's going on? I thought my game was falling off. And I always self-scout during the off season myself to see how I could get better. And I'm watching the film. I'm seeing Albert Haynesworth totally destroy everybody in front of him. Then you fast forward to the following year where he was runner-up for defensive MVP and all those things. So I say all that to say, if Jeffrey ain't making the play and it's a run play, it makes it easier on the linebackers because Big Jeff is taking 2 up in year 1. So if you're playing downhill and you're on your keys and down distance and the offense's tendencies, man, if Jeff is taking 2, you should have tackles in the backfield all day.
Right, man. Okay, spoken like a true vet right there, man. Do your job is basically what you're saying.
Okay. That's it, yeah. Because, look, you got a big guy. That's like it's a generational player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's going to – all you have to do is your job, man. Everybody has their job. I feel like even when I watched the film last week games, people weren't in their gaps, and if they were in their gaps, they weren't come downhill in their gaps. They'll stand there and wait till the lineman gets up to them, and by then Saquon already got 4 easy yards, and he'll take the other 3 tough ones. So I think, like I said, the defense needs to be very physical at the point of attack because the Buffalo Bills is going to be physical. They went in last week at halftime against the Rams and put on a whole new set of shoulder pads. They put on them big boy pads. And quarterback included, because he was Derrick Henry and DBs and everything. So the Titans have had Buffalo's number the last few times. I think that Buffalo is definitely going to be ready for this game, and I think this is going to have to be a complete team effort from the Titans, and that is what they need because we still haven't seen who is going to step up and be some of the catalysts and some of the main go-to guys on offense, and we need to see that defense, which I feel right now is going to help them win a lot of games as they did last year, just kind of solidify and gel a little bit. We don't play in the preseason like we did, Ramon, so their preseason is the first game of the season.
Preach, Keith. That's all I'm saying, man. Let it be known. Let it be known. With that being go ahead.
No. I want to hear your question.
No, I was just going to say, with that being said, though, about getting those preseason reps, man, you're without Christian Fulton tonight. And you got 2 young guys that's, I think, going to hold down the corner position, Caleb Farley and Roger McCreary. As a defense, man, again, it's 11 out there. How do you either cover them up or do you just ask them, look, you're not rookies or young guys anymore? What's your approach to that type of situation?
It's both, man. The coaches have to worry about the game plan to cover them up. But coming into that week of practice, I'm letting them know, look, this is what y'all have been playing your whole life for, to start in the NFL. And now you're starting on Monday night. It's a huge stage, and it can either go one way or another. And the best way to make sure it goes well for you is come out there be prepared. Know what they're going to try to give you. And then I think who's really going to have to play big tonight and help those young corners is Kevin Byard and
Amani.
Amani Hooker. They're going to have to be big to give those guys confidence that on the deep ball, they're over the top as safeties. If they're supposed to be there for double team help, they're there. So once those young kids get the confidence that they know that their safeties are going to be there for them, they should be able to play freer. But you can't have the mental lapses. Stephon Diggs, to me, is one of the best wide receivers in the league, and he'll let you know about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's gonna be a tough one for those young guys. But I think the best way they settle down is the coach giving them some soft coverages at first, some zones that appear to be man, let them get their feet wet, and then by the second series, man, you're gonna have to play.
Go ahead.
Keith Bulluck with us here this morning on Ramon and Will. Not a lot of teams, Keith, can say they are 2-0 against Josh Allen in their last two tries like this Titans defense can say. What specifically have they been able to do to make him so uncomfortable these past two times?
Just their front four. They have a great pass rush, man. The Titans have a great pass rush, so that's going to bother any quarterback when they just can't sit pretty in the pocket. I think Josh Allen is very comfortable when he's rolling to his right. He makes a lot of his big plays, if not all of his big plays, when he's rolling to the right. So I think they're going to have to scheme up a rush to kind of make him stay away from rolling to his passing arm. So, look, and then when you look on the offensive side of the ball, they did a good job of keeping Josh Allen off the field and making big plays when they needed to. So what's unfortunate is they don't have that. The Titans don't have that big play wide receiver yet that we know of that's going to take the top off the defense. So I would anticipate, if I'm the Buffalo Bills and Leslie Frazier, I'm having 9 in the box, and I'm daring your guys outside to beat me because no one, and I say this respectfully, none of the wide receivers on the Titans would scare me as of yet.
What about a tight end around?
I'm sorry? Hey, throw that in the trash can.
We got to keep it light, man. Look, football's a very violent game. I had to ask you about that, man.
That's dumb. You put it so from an offensive lineman standpoint, right?
Yeah.
They call that play, and when you watch that play, what is Taylor Lewan supposed to do in that situation? You know what I'm saying? That was he wanted to seal him, but the defensive end read the block. It was just tough.
Taylor was in a bad situation. I put some of the blame on Taylor because I'm like foot up, foot down, inside out. But
all right, you're going technical. I don't know.
Keith, this is where I just smile and nod when this man starts speaking another language.
Don't do me like that, fella.
You got it.
O-line lives matter, okay?
You could be talking another language right now, and I would just smile and nod at you.
With that being said, Taylor wasn't overly wrong. A little bit of technicality in that as far as placement of where he was going to block him. But he did what you wanted him to do. He had the outside edge sealed. If you look back at that play, you had one wide receiver going to the middle linebacker, even if Taylor had blocked that D-end. And I forget who was the wide receiver. Maybe it was NWI going in. It was NWI going to get the middle linebacker. Keith, you still had 3 guys that were unblocked on that end around against a rookie. Where were you at when you saw it? Did you flip the channel?
Yeah, no, I was like, why would you call that? Because I've never seen a tight end around work, and to have a wide receiver blocking a middle linebacker, you're seeing that kid on a death sentence. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get a better. I bet you we'll get a better third down play today.
He owned it. So we move on, right? I'm sure they want us to move on from that, Keith.
We're gone.
Okay.
Keith Bulluck with us. Keith, on the way out, you're a New York guy. By the way, congrats to your Syracuse Orange men on a big win over the weekend.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's crazy?
Wins
the
a
way
win.
he answered that, Keith didn't even realize they won. Stop lying,
I
Keith.
did. I watched the game. I definitely watched the game. I watched the game, but I just know what's going to happen. We start. What are we 3-0? Right
Yeah, you
now?
are.
It'll be a nice 500 by the. I just don't have a lot of faith in my alma mater.
That's all right.
I'm kind of like the Vols fans like 6 years ago and whatnot. You know what I mean? Now
That's right.
Vols fans are rough.
Hey,
Now their heads are bigger.
Everybody's going to Knoxville this weekend, like hype and everything.
See,
I'm with
Keith,
it.
you don't drag us into this with y'all, okay? I see what just because y'all orange and we are. No, don't.
Congratulating
Don't.
y'all.
No, you bringing us down to lift you up.
Y'all got in '97 was a.
Waiting on that one.
Okay.
I was gonna say I gotta talk.
No, how you gonna blame me? I started
always
it,
have to
Keith.
talk Syracuse with Keith Bulluck because every time I see Keith, he mentions a pass interference call within about the first 20 minutes.
See, all
As
Keith
you
is-
should, Keith.
See, he's good because he's down. He's good because he's in Florida getting his sunshine right now. And you feeling good about that?
Nah,
Keith, don't
I'm
bring
going
us
with the
down to
Vols,
lift you
though.
up.
I'm going with the Vols though, man. I got too many. I've lived in Nashville too long, and I have too many friends that either went to UT, love UT, grandmama went to UT, something UT. Oh yeah, and you and the big dog Ron Slay went to UT. So how am I not gonna roll with UT?
I'm a VAA. I'm one of those that thinks the Vols are all right.
Keith, you know how much we play that drop? Well, I think that gets played like 2 or 3 times a week.
It does.
Right. I called myself something. I'm like, I forget what I called, but yeah, the Vols. Now they're playing better, but we'll see.
I love it.
You said you're a VAA.
Yeah, a VAA. Vols are all right. Yeah.
Yeah, Vols are all right.
I love it. Well,
I'm standing on that.
I love it. Well, all
we
of
win
this
another
was
national championship.
That's
We
right.
win another national championship.
Come on, bull.
All this was a
Y'all done win
roundabout
one
way.
before Syracuse.
That's true.
This even better, dog. Boy, you continue to do this. You continue to do this backhanded stuff, man. See, you're in Florida right now. That's why you acting like
Feeling
this.
good.
I'm a VAA. All right. No.
Keith, all this was a roundabout way to ask on the way out. As a New York guy, you play for Syracuse, you play for the Titans. What is it like in prime time up there in Buffalo with the fans as loud and rowdy as they're going to be tonight?
Yeah, you know what? That's my first NFL game was in Buffalo on a Sunday or Monday night,
Yep.
so it's gonna be crazy.
September 3rd, 2000.
Kevin Byard said something like it's gonna be like a college atmosphere. He went to MTSU, so I don't ever know if they ever got that hype. But the Bills Mafia is coming in strong. They are breaking tables right now, so it's gonna be loud. And I think, man, that's what the Titans have to do, man. In all seriousness, they need to go out, strike early, get that crowd out of the game. Everyone's been talking about their first down calls. There's nothing wrong with calling a deep ball on the first play of the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with trying to, throw shots and let these secondary guys know that you're not just going to squat and sit in the box because we're going to come at you. So it's going to be fun and interesting to watch. I just hope that, obviously the Titans come out on top.
Yeah, for sure.
Keith Bulluck, Mr. Monday Night, has been our guest here on Ramon and Will. Always appreciate the time, Keith, and we'll do it again to hopefully recap maybe a Tennessee win with our VAA Vols all right next week. Maybe.
Standing on it.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it,
Have a
bull.
good one. Yeah.
All right, there is Keith Bulluck, just giving us more content.
See, and he's an hour ahead too. So Bull been up for a while.
He's
right
chilling.
Now. He's an early morning dude though. Like
He's
even
chilling.
when he's here,
Drink my beers.
And he drinks his beers, man.
Coming up, we give you our keys to a Tennessee Titans win tonight. Our Toyota keys to the game. Just like that, we will send you on your way. It is Ramona Will, powered by all 4 seasons of 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, it's Schaefer for my friends at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. We are in football season. I think the best time of the year. And you don't want to spend any more time out there mowing that yard than you have to. But since you do have to mow it, do it with the highest quality mower possible. I know which one that is for you. The Toro Z Master 2000 HDX. It has a unique My Ride suspension system and deluxe seats with armrests, keeping you comfortable hour after hour, even over rough terrain, and keeping you comfortable even if it's just an hour mowing your yard. And that powerful engine, durable deck, and upgraded hydros help you finish more jobs faster so you can go back to watching football. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, 9 locations: Nashville, Cool Springs, Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Brentwood, Mower, Hendersonville, Mount Juliet, Franklin, and Knoxville. Coming soon to Maryville. Go where the pros go and get hooked up with Toro. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, DickensSupply.com.
Oh, we're floating on a Monday game day edition of Ramona Will, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. Macho Man Todd Titan, some Toyota keys to the game will get you on your way on this Monday. Will Bowling, Ramon Foster back with you. We go to the phone lines where Funky Cheese Man has called in to give us his Titans thoughts. Good morning, Funky Cheese Man.
Morning, Cheese.
Hey, top of the doohickey, fellas. Hey, what is up with our fan base right now? Oh, man, I just don't know what we're going to do. We can't stop Josh Allen and the Bills. That Bills Mafia, they're going to be breaking so many tables, man. They can break as many tables as they want to today. Because after we come through and thunder on them, they're going to be leaving two-tone blue. Tighten up. Gas pedal. Tighten up. Gas pedal.
Thank you, Funky Cheese Man. Stand up when you preach.
That's my God.
Stand up when you preach.
Game day, you better act like it.
That's right.
There we go.
Time for our Toyota keys to the game, brought to you by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers. Ramon Foster, your first key today for the Tennessee Titans.
Contain Vaughn. We've spoken him up so high all week long, and I led that charge with scout meeting Wednesday. He's not the immovable force. You can block him. You can contain him. Now, you can't be foolish in that task either, but it starts with him. If Tannehill is on the run, they have other guys that can close too. If you stop him, I think you got a good way of winning.
For me, first key is do not get out of your identity as an offense if you go behind early. Tennessee Titans too quickly try to go to the pass, try to become a spread-it-out team, and without Dontrell Hilliard in this team, your second running back tonight is going to have a lot more trouble being that receiver out of the backfield kind of guy within the spread offense and within those shotgun sets. I think even if the Titans are down 14 points in this game, you cannot get away from what you do best. I think there is a lot of pressure on Todd Downing tonight to continue to call plays based on what the identity of this offense is.
Yeah.
Easy to get out of that when you go behind. Titans can afford to do that tonight.
Man, and just to add to that too, Hassan Haskins, don't be a rookie tonight. Somebody's got to spell Derek, and it's got to be him if Dontrell's not in. So don't be a rookie tonight. My second key is keep the top on the defense by any means necessary. And in that too, Will, if they're playing too high, trying to protect the young corners, front seven, stop the run. Like, don't let Buffalo have a breakout game when it comes to the running game simply because you don't have safety support because they have to cover for the young guys. It can't be both, okay? Keep the top on the defense and also be able to contain that run game because that's one of Buffalo's biggest woes is they don't really have that identity other than Josh Allen extending plays.
Second key for me is create turnovers from Josh Allen because the one way to beat Josh Allen is to catch the football when he throws it at you. In 4 games against the Titans, Josh Allen has been sacked 9 times, and he has thrown 5 interceptions, including 1 last year and 2 the season before that in the beatdown win for the Tennessee Titans in 2020. I think the Titans have to be opportunistic on defense. They can't not catch the football if they have an opportunity as a defense. The margin for error is pretty razor thin. I think that starts up front with Jeffrey Simmons and Bud Dupree. It has to finish with these rookie cornerbacks, and I'm going to throw Caleb Farley in there basically as a rookie as well.
Okay.
On basically the year anniversary of his injury that he had last year against the Buffalo Bills. Have to take a step forward, have to be opportunistic, and you have to hope that Gabe Davis isn't able to be a full go tonight because I think if that guy goes, then it's a long night for the Titans in the secondary.
Last one for me, man, is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Hurts my feelings every time.
You know, like legitimately, Shane Boyne and Todd Downing. Don't get super cute. If you're going to play bully ball, be there tonight, okay? If you got 3rd and 1, put it in the OL's hands. If you got to protect the guy when it comes down to the passing game a little bit, as far as protections offensively, do that. You want to get out. I don't care if it's by half a point, Will. Get the win. Get on the airplane, come back to Nashville.
And we will be back here on the airwaves tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. recapping it all with you. We anticipate your phone calls. We anticipate lots of strong reactions, win or lose. Special thanks to our guests this morning, Kevin Dyson, Keith Bulluck. But now Our final guest of the day, Macho Man Todd Titan, gets you ready for your game day in Nashville. Take it away, Todd Titan.
Oh, yeah! Monday Night Football primetime light, yeah. And I'm having a flashback, yeah. 1 year ago, similar situation. Buffalo Bills being crowned the champs. Titans don't have a chance tonight. So Buffalo Bills, believe the hype, because pride cometh before the fall. And the results of last year will be the same result as this year, because the Titans are bringing out the icy whites, and you're going to take an elbow right through your chest, and we're going to put you through your own table. Bills Mafia, Buffalo Bills, you're taking the loss tonight. We're silent to the critics.